Hey there, guys. Another surprise live to air. Um, this live to air was prompted to me today. I got a little bit angry. I got a little bit angry this morning, very, very early in the morning. So I'm just going to wait for a couple of you guys to come on so I can make sure you guys are up to speed. In the meantime, um, I got a question today from a couple that contacts in the next little while. I want to tell you guys about health insurance when you do come to the Dominican Republic. But that's not what this topic is about today. What this topic is about is, oh my gosh. Okay. I was I am tired of hearing foreigners say, oh, Dominicans, or oh, the Dominican Republic, with nasty negative comments. I'm going to give you an example today. Um, I had, and he took it nicely. He didn't like come back at me in a mean way or anything, but he he left me a message the other day when I went for my surgery. And he said to me, oh, yeah, watch what's going to happen. When you get there, they're going to give you the runaround. They're going to give you they're going to do this. They're going to do that. They're not going to take care of you, blah, 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 blah. I said, well, nothing like that happened. Just like that, flat out, a flat line. I said, well, nothing like that happened to me. Like they took care of me. And he got back to me and he's like, oh, okay, well, it happened to another vlogger. Here's the link to to her, video. And she's in Santo Domingo. And so I watched like maybe about 3 minutes of it. No, maybe about 5 minutes of it. Right, because I really wanted to know what this vlogger is saying. She has a Dominican boyfriend here. She's, starting a whole entire family with a Dominican man here. So I really wanted to hear what she said, give her a little respect and hear her out. Hey, let me see who this is. Eva in the house. Hey, Eva, what's up? So I really wanted to give her respect, and everyone's entitled to their own story, right? And their own experience here. But she was like talking kind of negatively. This is what she was saying. She's like, when you go to the doctor in the Dominican Republic, it's nothing like America. Okay? We should never expect anything in any other country to be like America. Canada is different than America. When you go to a doctor in Canada, I'm Canadian, you get free health care. For those of you who are American, you're probably like, yeah, I know, it's amazing. And it is amazing because I just have to call when I'm in Canada, I just have to call the doctor, make an appointment, and show up with my health card, Ontario health card, that we need to pay for in Canada is for medication, right? Some hospitals are free as well, like emergency care, but you do have to pay for the cast, and you do have to pay for like any aftercare type of stuff. But not always, but if we want to go for an ultrasound, we want to go for like a CAT scan, all that stuff, like it's free. It's completely free in Canada. So, you do have to book an appointment. But there's another thing that is a backdrop. You need an ultrasound, you might not get that ultrasound for another month. Okay, because you're not paying for it. And not only that, it's quite busy and everything is so backlogged, okay, when it comes to the healthcare system. So I'm not putting this particular vlogger down, by the way, not at all. It's her experience and she's entitled to it. But I just felt like, where does it come in when you're comparing the two? Some people, they compare the Dominican Republic to like dirt, and I don't like that. It really upsets me because we are here to experience a different lifestyle, a different culture, a different way. And I, for one, really enjoyed going to the hospital the other day when I needed the surgery and getting an ultrasound the exact same day for 800 pesos, $16, okay? And they were honest with me. They're like, an ultrasound for breast today, we have a deal going on. And I was like, wow. So it's not like the secretary was trying to pocket the money. They were having a deal. I didn't even understand when she's like, we're having an oferta And I'm like, what are you having here? And she's like, an offer, like an oferta, a deal today, special deal for breast ultrasounds. And I was like, oh, wow, how honest is that, right? So there's a lot of people here who also think that Dominicans are not honest, and they are very honest. Very honest. A lot of Dominicans are. They even will tell on each other, like in the street. Like they will tell where somebody, like they're very honest. Let me just leave it at that. In my experience, we all have different experiences, but what I'm saying for the most part, Dominicans are very open and upfront. Very open and upfront. They're even honest to their friend who has recently gained weight. They'll be like, oh, look at you, gordo. You're getting really fat. And in Canada, you just don't say that, right? You're just like, oh, no, you look good. And it's not honesty. So anyway, this one girl, she was saying how don't expect it to be the same when you go to the hospital or to a specialist. There's no appointment. There's just a piece of paper with a whole bunch of names. And then there's also no computers. I didn't even notice all of that. All I noticed is that I was taken care of. And that is the main thing. For you to go into the hospital and get taken care of. Bedside manners were all awesome. The fee was great. I really enjoyed the care. So this guy said to me today, he gave me like, well, not today, he left me a message the other day, and he said, oh yeah, when you go to when you go to a doctor, they're just going to give you the runaround, blah, blah, blah. And then the Dominican Republic to where they came from. I like the system here. Like I said, I like showing up and not having to make a doctor appointment. Imagine having an emergency, you're scared, you don't know what's going on. You show up at a clinic and they tell you that you had to have made an appointment and come back in a week from now. How is that? No, that's how it is in Canada. And I find that primitive. I find that like a system that needs to be. But here, you show up to the doctor and you get your name put on the list. They write it on his, and the doctor is allowed to use their discretion as to who they can let into the office at that time. So, and I always hear a lot of different comments. Like some people think that they can contact me and be like, oh yeah, that's just Dominicans. I don't like it. So don't do it. I live here. I even said to the guy, I live here, and I'm tired of hearing foreigners say, oh, Dominicans this, Dominicans that, but meanwhile they live here. So when they're in, like for instance, I was on the road the other day on a motoconcho, and I was going somewhere, and there was a foreigner in his Range Rover, and he's driving, and then there was another guy that broke down, a Dominican that broke down in the road in front of him. Now the Dominican, you could see that either he broke down due to his car breaking down, or you could see that he broke down due to the fact that maybe he had him, and the Range Rover started to honk the horn, and he starts yelling at him in English, and he's like, you this and you that, and the guy, the Dominican, just turned around and looked at him and like, what can I do? Go around. And the guy did not go around. The guy chose to just sit in the back, like in his vehicle, in the back of the other guy, and honk the horn continuously, angrily, acting like as if this was his country, acting like as if it is the guy in front of him was doing it on purpose. Maybe the guy in front of him didn't have money for gas. Maybe the guy in front of him didn't have money for maintenance. Maybe the guy in front of him his car was on his last legs, and he needs that car for his business. Imagine if the guy runs a taxi service. Imagine if the guy relies on his car for his livelihood, and then he has this character in the back of him who's not even from this country telling him what to do. A lot of the times, Dominicans are very calm and cool and collected. I've never seen a Dominican step out of line and like pulverize a gringo or a gringa in the calle, like in the street. I've never ever seen a foreigner be beat up by any Dominican. I'm talking when they're in the grocery line and they're like, these lineups take so long. You know, so what? Go to another grocery store, period. Go to the Colmado. And then another one is, you know, when you go into into a store and the person's on their cell phone. They're not trained the same way as North America is. We need to be patient. We are in this life. We're coming here to have a beautiful stand, to enjoy culture, to enjoy food, to enjoy the beauty that everything is. I find that there are a handful of people, not everyone, because I'm telling you, there's a lot. Hold on one second. Hey, Patrick, the key is that we're guests in their country. I think a lot of people forget that. Hands down, Dominican people are the most friendliest people in the world. Close tie with Canadians, though. Woohoo! Canadians, I gotta tell you, a lot of Canadians are polite, but not necessarily nice. Let's keep it real. Kevin, so glad, Cerise, that you are well. Also liked hearing I found out living in Boca de Mao for 3 weeks. This past February, the family I stayed with accepted me as one of their own. Absolutely. Kevin, so giving and kind. Absolutely. And a lot of people are like, oh, be careful, be careful. Be careful of what? You know, today I had my friend come over with his son. Okay. He came over this morning and he was sharing, like, kids are not in school right now due to COVID, right? And I heard that the kids are going to be doing online now. They're going to be doing their online work until the vaccine comes out and all that. But let's not even get into all that stuff. Word. You have someone to take care of you? And I'm like, yeah, Elsa offered to come over, but I don't like taking people out of their way. And I do feel okay. And he's like, well, what are you going to eat today for lunch? And I was like, I don't know, you know, I don't really have an appetite. And he's like, okay, do you want me to go and get you something? And I'm like, well, if you want to come here and cook for me, because he's a good cook. And I said, if you want to come here and cook for me, and you can have some food and your son can have some food as well. All of us can have a meal together and you get to see Noche. And then your son can also see my new dog Hero, because his son knows Noche from when Noche was just a little baby. And he's like, great, let's do that. So my friend came here and he went to the grocery store. He bought chicken and he bought rice and he barbecued out here on my barbecue. And they were only here for like about 2 hours, but he also washed up the dishes. He cleaned the floor for me. My apartment's not dirty or messy or anything like that, but it was so nice to be able to have my friend come over. He sacrificed his Sunday with his son and came here. Now, some of you out there would be saying, oh, he only came over for the free food. He knew he was going to be getting a meal. And if that's so, that's fine. That's my business. But guess what? What is a free meal? Like what? 200 pesos that goes to Noche and Hero anyway. It's not like his son ate a lot. Him and his son ate a lot of rice. They love rice, and we had vegetables, and it was so good. And you can't pay for that type of company. And it came up under 1,000 pesos. 1,000 pesos is $20, less than 20 bucks American. And a lot of people will be like, oh no, don't do that. Dominicans will take advantage of you. Take advantage of 20 bucks? It's impossible. You always need to give a little something extra. Dominicans will always give something. I have so many Dominicans that give me their time. Time is something you can't take back in life. Time is something that, you know, you can't pay for time at all. And that's why, you know, I get really, really busy. And when you guys know that, and when I do get busy and you guys, or I get right back to you when you leave a WhatsApp message, you guys will say to me, oh, wow, thank you so much. I didn't realize that you were actually going to answer because you're always so busy and you appreciate my time. And a lot of you guys are just like, I'm only going to talk to you for 5 minutes, Cerise. I know you're busy. Thank you so much for answering. And that is the exact same way you need to respect Dominicans here when they give you their time, because you can't pay for their time. Some of them have nothing but time. Some of them don't have income. Some of them don't have jobs. So when they do offer you their time, you should give a little something back. And today, when the guy was like, oh, blah, 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 I came right back at him. I'm going to get the message. I'm going to play what I played. I don't want to play what he, well, you guys know I like to be confidential, right? And I don't want to call him out because he actually felt bad afterwards, after I told him off. He's like, all my friends are Dominican. He lives in the United States. But hold on, give me 1 second. I'm going to get my cell phone and I'm going to actually play the messages for you guys. And I just want to apologize to him. I'm not going to say his name, but oh, by the way, before I move on, so giving and kind, Patrick, laugh out loud. That happened to me once when I was checking out at the store. The cashier was on their phone and she just kept on talking for like a solid 5 minutes. I didn't know if I should leave or not. Their love of life and God is awesome. They love God. Actually, this saying right here, siempre con Dios, means always with God. And I actually got that from one of the buses, one of the guaguas. You guys know the guaguas that go on the street, public bus? On the public bus, every public bus has something about God on the front. Siempre con Dios, Dios es mi savior, or Cristo es mi amor. And this is on the public buses, so it's not even like it's a private car. Private cars also have it. And I really love those sayings. And so I got it tattooed on me. I loved it so much. So yes, you are right. A lot of religious people here and a lot of spiritual people here, and they're very loving and very kind. So anyway, I don't like hearing when foreigners come here for like a week and they're like, oh, that person's just Dominican. Oh, and by the way, when you do go into a store and somebody is on the phone and they're like hard in a conversation, they're like, and they're not giving you the eye contact, you're allowed to say to them, mi amor, lo siento mucho, excúseme. That's it. My love, I'm so sorry. Excuse me. But I really need to pay for this and go. They may go, but then you just say it again and just they'll go. Sometimes they have attitude. They'll just be like, ¿qué pasa? Like, or ¿qué más? Like, what more do you want? Right? Something like that. But don't take it personally. The training and that training just wasn't there for that person. However, sometimes they will say, oh, sorry. If you say, oh, mi amor, lo siento mucho, yo necesito voy. Like, lo siento, like, I'm very sorry, I need to go. And they'll be like, okay, right? And then as they're still talking on the phone, they'll cash you out, right? They'll look at things and they'll cash you out. So you do have an option. You don't have to stand there and wait for them at all. I don't. I speak up. If you guys know me, I'm straightforward and I just say it how it is. Mi amor, yo necesito voy, mi amor. And they tell them that you gotta go and they will say, okay. It happens everywhere in even in the, oops. It happens everywhere. I just left someone a voice note by accident. But it happens everywhere in the Dominican Republic. Sometimes it happens in the cable office. They will pick up their private cell phone, that type of stuff. You can only go with the flow and roll with it. Like be in the groove of where you are, be in the groove of what's happening. All right, let me get to this guy's message. And I'm so sorry, mister. I'm gonna play your message. But you came back at me real correct after I corrected you. Let's see here. This is what he said.
Oh my God. You'll be there for days and days and days and days. They'll tell you to come back tomorrow. They'll give you an aspirin to make you feel better, making you think you're going to be okay. And you come back the next day or 2 days. They'll tell you the doctor isn't there. Then they'll tell you to come back the next day. The doctor will be in. They're tourists.
Especially tourists. They play games over. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. I've never had a Dominican play a game with me, and I stand by it. Ever. Like, oh, obviously relationship wise, things happen all over the world, right? But I've never had a Dominican play with my like professionally, right? So this is what he said, and there's more, right? But I just kind of was like, I'm tired of this. So I said to him, nothing like that happened. I said to him, nothing like that happened. And then he said, oh, another vlogger made a video about their bad experiences. And then that's when he sent the video to me. And I was just like, whatever. But then he said something else. And I just like, I guess because I didn't speak up right away, and I didn't get like rude right away. I was just trying to ignore him, and he kept coming back at me and coming back at me. Not with anything mean. He even said, "Have a blessed day," and then he said the government needs to help their people more. So he was actually speaking sweetly about them afterwards. But I would just got tired, and I was like,
yeah, but negative about the Dominican Republic when it's not even everyone's experience. And then all these people get scared when they come here before they even come here. And then people from around the world spread rumors that aren't always necessarily true based upon one person's experience. So that message that you sent me, I felt was a little over the top, because it's just not my experience or everyone's experience here. And it was more like fearful.
like I was trying.
Hey, no, I did not watch the video because I could tell when she said, they don't have computers and there's just a lady sitting in the hallway with a notepad. Why do they need computers? Like, why can't they just sit in the hallway with a notepad? It's a very convenient system, and it worked very well for me. Any other way, and I would have had to go for a different surgery. Okay, I went in there with a breast that was just about to explode. And when I got there, the doctor took me seriously. Of a lineup of appointments and computers and all that stuff. She was able to make an educated guess on who needed the assistance immediately. So I'm so tired of people talking bad about the Dominican Republic, and they don't live here. They've never been to the doctor here, and they spread crap that they don't even know. Your message to me was very negative, and you've never been to a hospital, and that's how you spoke to me before surgery or during my surgery or whatever, whenever you left the message. And that's not cool. That's not cool. I took it very negatively. I live here, and I love this place, and I love the way people take care of me. My friends are like my family, and the doctors want people to be healthy. And that hospital that I went to is built from a Canadian. I heard from my good friend Gustavo right now.
Oops, sorry guys. So what happened was I pow-powed him with my mouth because I don't know who he is, and I welcome it. But just before I'm going into surgery, he's talking about, okay, so what they're going to do, they didn't play with me like that. So, and he's never been to a doctor here. And he doesn't live here. And he has Dominican friends in America. So who does he think he is? Telling me about my friends and family here and the system here. Guys, if you have never been here and you're nervous about the system here, please don't be nervous. It is a different way of life. Don't expect to come here and then also have a kinish, okay? I'm sweating a lot, but I don't have a fever. I'm fine. It's very North American-ish. A lot of the clothing is the same, but the culture is the same too. For me, the culture is the exact same, but there's just different foods that they eat, different fruits that they eat that are indigenous to this country. Local people, don't put them down because you're not getting the same results in a certain area that you're not getting back in America or Canada. Okay, don't do that. And do not talk to Dominicans about Dominicans. I was on the beach one day, not recently, but before. I'm heading to the beach tomorrow, guys. I'm going to Cabarete beach tomorrow. But I was on the beach and there was a foreigner and he was talking to my friend who I was with. And he's like, oh, you Dominicans, all of us expats. and he wanted to be accepted. And he speaks very good English. And he was just like, yeah, my people are special. And I looked at him and I said, what do you mean your people are special? And he's like, like what this guy was just saying. And I said, no, 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 no. Do not put your people down because you're sitting with foreigners. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. And I explained to him the reason why he shouldn't do that. I am mixed with black and white and native, okay? And when I would be around white people and they're putting down black people, I wouldn't let that happen. I would never let that happen. And they would say to me, a lot of white people would say, oh, Cerise, but you're lucky. You're light skinned, so it's okay. No, it's not okay. My people are my people. And so my people, sometimes they do this and they do that. And I'm like, they could do so much more like what some Canadians and Americans do. So that really bothered me from then. And that was a while ago. And then I started to hear it more and more and more. And I hear it a lot. And for me, it is kind of racist. And you guys might not believe it. You guys might not think you're being racist. You guys might just think, okay, at best you're being you're discriminating at best. But no, you're talking about a whole race of people when you start putting them down. And or even classism or whatever. I hear it in a lot of expat bars. Expat, for those of you guys who don't know, expat represents a person who is like an expat, someone who's left their country to come here and live. Their love of God is awesome. And then Ralphie, you did your message, and so did Patrick. Kevin, laugh out loud. I bought 30 ribs, 3 chickens, and 20 ears of corn. That's when I met the entire family. We ate all that evening and we spoke of God and the act of love for one another. Wow. And then Cab, no limit. Pesos. I don't know what pesos is. Dominicans are the nicest people in the world, like I stated, but they're also the best salesmen, especially down on the beach. Walk away and don't look back. Okay, definitely. I can see that. Just no, thank you, not today, and just keep it moving. Yeah. It's like anywhere, in Cuba as well. Cuba is actually lit for hustling. Trust me, it's a little different. Tattoo on the bus. No, I didn't get the tattoo on the bus. I got a tattoo on my arm from a saying on the bus. Stephen Scott, if you don't mind me asking, what happened with the price on the studio you showed a couple of videos back? Oh, that's a very good question. Are you talking about the one that was like all on the beach and was overpriced? Yeah, $1,000 a month or something like that, 1,000 to stick that apartment. And anyone that contacts me about it, a lot of you guys will know who are listening to this, and some of you guys who will listen to this after the live and you're just watching the video, you'll know that I actually told you guys too, I'm not renting it. Sorry, I can't take that. I'm not going to rent rape you. And I'm not going to give the opportunity for that landlord to do it either. I don't even care if you can afford it. Go find another apartment on the beach all on your own. I'm not going to get the reputation of renting out a studio apartment on the beach at $1,800 a month. Why would I do that? No way. There's so many other options I can offer you guys in Cabarete, in Puerto Plata, in Sosua, all over. And that really is another thing that upset me. It's a foreigner, it wasn't a Dominican. And even today we were talking back and forth because he has an apartment for sale that one of my clients wants. And it's a reasonable price though, it's a really reasonable price. So I said to him, I'll work with you on that. But most of the other properties, I don't need a bad reputation. I really don't want to get involved with expensive prices like that because you guys know you come to me for the economical rates. And even a Dominican contacted me, shouts out Michael. He's spiritual and he watches a lot of my live to airs, and he wants to work with me in a team. And then I asked him about an apartment that we both know about. And I asked him how much he rents it out for. And he told me how much he rents it out for. And I was like, oh, wow. So you get really cheap prices too for really good places. We need to work together. And he's like, I'm pretty sure you're the one that gets the cheapest prices here. And that was such a great compliment because, he's Dominican and he wants to work with me, and he gave me the compliment of not rent raping. And he also said to me that he wants to start an education program for landlords here to educate them on how to set certain standards and certain prices for people who are coming here and not rent rape, because it is now becoming a very big thing right now. So yeah, that's what happened with that studio. You guys, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes here. Watch, let me give you guys a little, my major cell phone. Let me give you guys an example of somebody who I was trying to get a condo for, a villa for. I was trying to get a villa for a client of mine / friend. And it overnight, at first it was like 1,500. And then overnight, just depending on 1 month difference, it went up like $500, $600, $700. It went up $700. So let me see here if I can find the message quickly. Okay, let me see. Okay, so here's where she says it's 1,500. And then, sorry guys, bear with me, please. I just want to let you hear this. Where is it? Give me a second, guys.
Okay, let me tell her.
Oh, I think it's here.
Good morning, Cerise. How are you? I'm sending this message to let you know the lady for the house in Perla Marina, she told me that she made a mistake because she thought it was November to December and not December to January. So she told me that the price is $2,200 plus electricity. She just sent me that message right now. So I told her that that the guy already has said his price. Of course, you said now to me. So let me know your thoughts and see how we can do this.
Okay, now here I am at the hospital. My breast felt like it was about to explode. I'm still working for you guys behind the scenes. A lot of you guys don't know what's happening and everything like that. And I told the guy that my price might go up, but I thought it might go up about $150 because he wasn't making a fast enough move on it. And I'm like, this is gonna go up, it might go up. I didn't really pay too much attention to it because I didn't think a day would make much of a difference. Well, the woman looked at the dates again and she realized it's not for November. She realized it's for December, high season, and it goes up $700 in high season. So this is what I said.
1 month difference and she goes up that much money? Doesn't make sense to me at all. Not at all. I will talk to him, but I'm not very happy with that. Come on now, this isn't even high season. There's a pandemic around the world. What is she thinking? No, I'm not dealing with this. You already know me, my price possible, so she doesn't know me, and I'm not gonna work with somebody like that. You already know that.
So and she got back to me, and Maria, I love Maria. Maria and we work so closely together on other people's apartments. So it's not Maria's fault. Like I have powed Maria so many times with my mouth, nope. I have standards for you guys behind the scenes, and you guys don't know, because when you guys contact me for something, I'm like, oh yes, this is this and this is that, because I want you to come down here. I want you to enjoy yourself. But there are some people who are now doing that, raising a month, and it's a pandemic out there. Come on now. Who's going to be coming for high season? Most people can't even, and you go back, you have to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks. There's no way you can get out of quarantine. It's just, you have to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. So a lot of Canadians are not coming here, period. Who's going to come in 2 months from now when the numbers are going back up? COVID cases, so to speak, are going back up in Canada. Things are getting closed back down in Canada. So who's going to come here? Why would the woman put the price up that much? So you guys are getting, I will speak up for you. And then if it goes up too much, I will make sure I tell the landlords, I'm not cool with this. I'm not cool with it. You cannot be doing that to people coming here, changing their lives, want to come here and live comfortable lives at a very good standard of living, and also provide stimulation for this economy, and you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys know what I'm saying. And there's a few people here who just don't understand how quickly a fragile economy can just pour and the rich all of a sudden crash because they did something to themselves by being greedy. So, that's why I like working with Dominicans a lot, because they understand the standard of living here. They understand their own economic. They're going to pay money out of their pocket, and so a lot of Dominicans will keep their prices, especially during a time like this, low. And even, thank you for asking that question. And I don't really share a lot of the personal messages with you guys like that. I'm just sharing with you guys right now so you guys can see just the level of differences. So I'm not only, saying, oh, respect, but I'm also fighting for respect as well. I think it's so important. And this other woman in Perla Marina, she's not Dominican. She owns a villa. And for her to raise prices like that, it's on you guys. It's foreigners doing it to foreigners. So when you come here and you start talking about, oh, Dominicans want this, Dominicans, deal at a 500 pesos. 100 pesos is $2. 500 pesos is $10. Make a big deal out of a villa when you come here, and it's $1,500 one week, and then the next day or two it goes up to 2,200. Unbelievable. That's what you need to really look at. Foreigners ripping off foreigners. Trust me. Everyone has got their hand in a pot for something. I'm not saying everyone's innocent, and I'm not saying everyone is, out to get everyone either. All I'm saying is there is a very fragile line that a lot of you guys might not understand, and you can help stimulate the economy, stimulate the beautiful vibe here just by being calm, just by being cool, just by being non-judgmental. I gotta admit, when I first came here and I was in like a lineup, for instance, like let's say Caribbean, I forget where I was. I was in De Lancer. And for cable. And a woman came in and walked in front of me. Now, I was like, why is she walking in front of me? And I really didn't pay attention too much, but I was really upset with the fact that she was able just to walk in and walk right in front of me and get served. And no one said anything to me. No one said, okay, we're going to talk to her. Nothing. And so I just kind of watched. And then I was like, I was here first. I spoke out Canadian. I spoke out, and then I didn't have any Spanish at the time, but I said, Joe, aquí, like I was here. And then the woman looked at me and she said, no. This woman was here first, but she forgot a piece of ID. She had to go home for it. And so now she came. And I was like, well, why doesn't she just sit at the back of the room again? And I was so ignorant. Like I really didn't know. Now, it has happened to me a few times. One time when I went to Caribbean Express, I was really busy day. I was supposed to go and pick up a few rent payments for landlords, and I didn't have my passport. I thought I could just show them, this was before, a long time ago before, and I thought I could just show them from my phone a copy of my passport. And Caribbean Express said to me, no, you need your passport. And I was like, are you kidding me? I have to go all the way back home? And they're like, don't worry about it. Go home and we'll let you come back to where the line you were in. You won't have to wait. And I was like, really? Okay. So I went home, got my passport, came back. As soon as I walked in, the woman was about to take someone else, but she looked at the Dominican woman. It wasn't another foreigner she was about to take. It was another Dominican woman, and she went, didn't explain to her why, nothing at all, but just went and called and told me, come. And I went, okay. And I looked at the Dominican woman and I said, oh, lo siento mucho. Like, I'm very sorry. And the Dominican woman who was about to go said to me, no, no, it's okay. It's okay. Go, handle your business. It's all right. She automatically knew that I had to have been there before. And no one had to explain to her. I didn't have to tell her, oh, I was here before, blah, blah, blah. The woman behind the counter at Caribbean Express didn't have to say to her anything. She understood. Okay, so expect that as well. When you're standing in line and you're experiencing something that you don't like, just know what goes around comes around, and one day you're going to be in a position where you're going to be served first. It's just the way it is, and you have to get used to it. And again, when I was at the hospital the other day, no, I didn't have an appointment at all, and there was a long list of names in front of me. Pregnant women, like all down the hot hallway. Pregnant women can get hormonal. Not one woman gave me a dirty look. Not one woman questioned when I was taken into that office before all of them. They couldn't look at me and tell that I needed surgery. They couldn't see it in me. It was my left breast. My left breast is covered with my bra and my t-shirt. It's not like it was, a watermelon and a grapefruit. There wasn't like there was a huge difference in size. It wasn't like I even looked sick or anything. They did not question it. And I wasn't pregnant. One of the things that I appreciate about the culture, because there are certain different advantages to the difference. And you have to recognize those. Funniest part was after checkout in grocery store when it was 12,500 pesos. So that's like 250 bucks, I guess. Pesos, or 210 bucks. I realized there are two pesos. I looked up peso and not Dominican peso and almost passed out. I don't understand here. There used to be maybe many years ago, but the Dominicans all use the same pesos. Not like Cuba. Cuba, they do have different pesos. Joseph. Hola, mi amor. Hola, Joseph. Fred. How you doing? Catch me up. Who left that message? What message? The USDR conversion. 300 was a lot better than 650. I had calculated using regular pay there. Explain more, honey. Patrick, I hear it all the time too. Every time someone's going down for the first time, I hear all these stories. Like I told them, there's truth in every story, but there's also two sides. Laugh out loud. Patrick says, laugh out loud. Everyone has a shock on that when they first get down there. They use their conversion from US to pesos. US to pesos, not Dominican pesos. I was telling them a good rule of thumb is to divide the price by 50. That is a very good rule of thumb. It is a really good rule of thumb. So if you have 100 pesos, it's going to be $2, right? If you have 200 pesos, it's going to be $4. So take off the hundreds and just keep the first digit. Pesos the other day, that's like 16 American bucks. So just double it. The guagua is 25 pesos, and that's like 50 cents. You get what for me, it felt like I had rewound the clock 50 years as compared to my life in US today. I feel that, oh my gosh, I older vibe. I love waking up and hearing the music in the morning, and I love hearing people sweeping the ground outside. I love hearing, just like beautiful music, spiritual music in the morning. It is very much of your old-fashioned blocks, like from back in the day. Those movies from around the like Brooklyn. I'm not American, but I watched a lot of American movies, and like Brooklyn, really, really down and friendly. I love it, but I'm just tired of hearing a lot of foreigners put people down. Silverback, you must be crazy. 95% of Dominicans are trying to scam you, and you know that. Why would you act like foreigners are supposed to put up with disrespect and rudeness? Silverback, you don't need to come here. You can go back, Silverback. Seriously, is like buying cars every single day, or doing like buying stuff every single day that is a really high ticket item. Okay, there was a woman today, I went and I bought bread. I asked for 3 pan, like 3 little breads. You can buy them for 5 pesos each. You can buy your coffee for 10 pesos. Coffee is 20 cents and 5 pesos is 10 cents, right? A lot of people will eat their coffee and their bread together in the morning. Well, I asked for 3 breads, and I did notice she went into the old bag. She went into the bag where the bread was like from yesterday. And so I noticed it, and I looked at her, and she noticed that I noticed, but she won't be doing it tomorrow. So there are certain things. She wants to get rid of that bread. I'm a gringa. She knows for sure that no Dominicans are going to buy that. And she knows a Dominican will say to her, why is this so hard? I want the soft bread. You don't have any fresh bread? Take it back. Okay? And that's just pretty much how Dominicans are. They're very straightforward. So if they're not always trying to scam, but if you are looking at, like you're on the beach, yes, they're going to want a good deal. Yes, they're going to want to do something for you for money. But tell me what landlord, and you have to use the word scam properly, what one of them is like trying to take your money and run with it. They know they'll get in trouble, especially on the beach and everything. Now they will do something for you. They'll work for it. Now, is their work worth 200 pesos? Maybe not. Maybe they just need to go around the corner and it's worth 50 pesos, and they'll say 200. But you have the option to hustle back. You have the option to say, no, it's okay. And most times things are not expensive. Like I have a dude here that's going to come and give me a massage with a special machine. I know for sure that special machine in Canada, if I was to get that done, would probably cost $60 for the hour just to get a massage, period, right? He's gonna do it for 300 pesos, $6. And then I said to him, okay, I want my friend to get a massage as well. And he said, okay, for what? And I said, oh, my friend, he has a little bit of a back problem. And he's like, okay, 500 pesos for your friend. My friend is Dominican. And he's like, okay, 500 pesos for your friend. And I'm like, and I hustled him back. And I was like, okay, well, my friend's Dominican and I'm going to be paying for it. But why am I 300 and he's 5? And the guy said, okay, forget it. Both of you guys are 300. It's okay. Right? So he did try to get an extra 200 pesos off the top, but I questioned it and I said no. So he was like, okay, forget it. Now, is that a hustle? Okay, and the word hustle, yeah, it is. But is it a scam? No, it's not, because it's only 500 pesos, $10 for a beautiful massage. And on top of that, the service was still going to be rendered. So it's not like, I asked to buy a car for $10,000. A lot of stuff goes on, like with foreigners on foreigners. I'm telling you, you guys, I'm a foreigner myself. I want you guys to come here and get really good prices. I want you guys to come here and stimulate the economy. But I don't want you to come here and be negative and call people down and say, oh, this and oh, that. And then not even show your own face on the internet and not even, be able to be brave enough to live in Dominican shoes with no running water. Some of them have no running water. Some of them have no electricity. Some of them right down here, just down the street in La Piedra, just directly down the street, there's some people with no running water, no electricity. So, are you saying that they are, and oh, what else did you say here? Foreigners are supposed to put up with disrespect and rudeness? No, Dominicans are not disrespectful and Dominicans are not rude. I have never, some women get annoyed with the men. I've seen that. Some women are just quiet and dismissive. I've seen that, but very rare. People is, oh my gosh, they're like, buen dia, get on the guagua, get into a public car, be around Dominicans and Dominicans only in their area, and you may learn a lesson on what rudeness really is, okay, or anything of that nature. I find that There's a lot of kindness here. I'm not people if they're rude and mean. And I wouldn't stay here this long and want to, advocate for you guys to come down here either. And disrespect and rudeness, give us an example of a disrespect that you encountered or rudeness that you encountered, and how often. Was it by everyone, or was it just something that you encountered that you didn't like? You also have to watch about the company that you keep all around the world. Patrick, no, 95, I would even say higher. 99% of the Dominicans you ever run into day to day are the nicest people. I mean, when you're walking, sure, you're going to run into a salesman that's trying to con. Absolutely. Traveling things with Profi. Hey, what up, Cerise? What up, traveling things? Patrick, I went to the doctor, and I'm sure a name in Cabarete, the nicest woman in the world and so knowledgeable, and I think it only costs like 20 American insurance. No, it actually is really cheap. Let me talk about travel insurance for a moment as well. I had a couple that contacted me today, really nice couple, and they're coming in February, and they're like, Cerise, we've been doing our research. We really, we're just waiting on a few things right now, and we just want to know about rent, because, I help people find apartments and everything. And they said, but, we're also wondering about insurance, because insurance, when we looked it up, is $700 a month. And I was like, no, it's not here. And they're like, no. And I'm like, no, not here, not at all. When I had my health insurance with universal health care, I went to the dentist, excuse me, and I had my universal health care for 1 month. Okay, usually it takes time for things to kick in Canada anyway. I had my insurance for 1 month. And when I went to the dentist, it cost me $13, 700 pesos, as opposed to 1,000 pesos, 20 bucks. And I got that discount almost immediately. I had like a little credit card type of thing, and they just slide that, or they call the number on the back, and they call the insurance company to see that the card is legit. That was it. And I got discounted. And this is a way here, and the life insurance as well, guys. Health insurance here is a lot cheaper as well. That's one place you guys can check out. In Universal in Sosua. It's located on El Bate in the EPS building. Contact them and tell them that I sent you, because I go there for packages all the time. Also, while you're there, get yourself an address as well, so you can get your packages from Amazon sent to you, and your packages from wish.com, or your packages from your family. And I'll just say quickly how that works, because some of you may not know. What you do is, you can even check out eps.com, and all you need is your passport. So what you do is, I went into the office, and they sign you up right there on the spot, and you don't have to pay to be signed up. And they give you an address of a post office box in Miami. And then all your stuff goes there. And then from there, it takes about 3 days to come here to the Dominican Republic. So, that is EPS. They also have other places here as well, very similar. But the Universal Healthcare and the EPS are both in one location across the street from Clásicos on Pedro Clisante in Sosua, Albate. Very convenient one-stop shop, and it's pretty cheap. You guys should really go there. It's not pretty cheap, but it's inexpensive and so convenient, and you guys should really go there and check it out. Again, if you need any help with consultation, just let me know, because I do provide that service, but some of you guys just don't need it. You guys are still doing your research. Snowfly, I'm Dominican, and I just found out I'm trying to scam you all. Thanks, chat, for letting me know. Aw, hugs, Snowy Fly. You know what? Not at all. There are some people out there who think that, and we need to get rid of that. We need to debunk that, because a lot of you guys are coming here a little too paranoid, a little too careful. A lot of you guys are like, you have to watch your pesos, you have to watch what you're doing. Too much. Like, you guys are paranoid. And you can't do that. You're coming to a country that is beautiful when you make the decision to come here. You are coming to a country where there's so much culture, so much music, so much food, so much love, so much of everything. I can't tell you how much my dogs are loved, Noche and Hero. And Hero loves being loved. Like Hero's just a tiny guy and he knows he's loved. But Noche, she gets outside and my girl acts like a queen. She can go in any store. I can go in a restaurant with her as well, like an outside restaurant. And once people know her name, Dominicans I'm talking about because I live in a Dominican neighborhood in Los Charamicos. And once Dominicans know Noche's name, they will say to her, Noche, Noche. You know, some of them will get right down on the ground and say, hey, Noche, and they'll hug her and love her. I've never seen anything like it in Canada. Right? In Canada, we're all like dog snobs, you know, and if you like a dog, you like a dog. And you're just like, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, okay, great, have a good day. Here, they will say, I'm talking about grown men too. I'm not just about people who are walking with their families. They will say, does she bite? And I'll say, no. And they'll look at her. I'll say, no, she doesn't bite. She's sweet. And they will say, okay, what's her name? And they pay so much attention to my dog. I love it. I love it. And you know, you just got to really be within the culture and come here yourself and don't listen to that. Because that guy that said to me said that message to me. And when I railed back on him, I'm like, you know what? I'm really tired of this. You don't give me scare tactics before I go into the hospital. Don't say, okay, they're just going to give you an aspirin, they're going to send you back home, and they're going to play with you because they play with tourists. And that's not true. They rely on tourists. A lot of this economy relies on tourists. Now, of course, I'll give you an example of little things you will expect to get a price hike. Little things. But once you're living here, that doesn't happen any longer. Once you are familiar with people and they're familiar with you and you've given them respect and they see that, there is no more that happens like that. There's a guy that sells fish. He lives in Los Charamicos and he buys the fish down in Los Charamicos. Like there's 3 pescaderia. I forget the name of the word, but it's like fish shops and they're all fresh fish every day. There's 3 of them, but there's one main one down in the port and the private beach of Los Charamicos. And you can go down there and you can buy tuna, like real tuna, huge. They chop it all up for you and everything. They clean it for you and everything. Give them 50 pesos if they clean it up for you. And, you know, then he does, like, he gets all that and then he brings it to Albate, where the foreigners are, like right in the foreigner area. Let me turn off the notifications for this, guys. Sell it at a more expensive price. Now, before I moved to Los Charamicos, I would buy from him. And I would buy fishes from him at, you know, not too much of an expensive price. But then once I found out about Los Charamicos down in the port and how cheap it was, I said to him on the street, I was like, no, you're selling that too expensive, right? And he laughed at me and he's like, how do you know? And I'm like, because I go to Los Charamicos now in the port. And he's like, oh, come on. And I said, sell it to me the way you would sell it to a Dominican and I'll buy from you again. And he's like, well, I got to make my money. He's like, I have to, you know, sell to Dominicans at a certain price. And there's only a couple of pesos that he's making off each fish. And he's like, but if you can, he said, I'll sell it to you, but if you can just give me a little bit more, that would be great. Because, you know, I know not everyone has it, but if you do, then every now and again, you know, break it off a little bit. And I do. I'm like, yeah, you know, you're right. Because how much can he sell it to somebody for, right? So, once you're known here, and once you're respected, there's no such thing as getting taken advantage of if you know what you're doing. Live life. Hey, live life. Mr. Where was it? Tallahassee or Tennessee? Hey, que lo que? What's up? Que tal? No, Patrick, no one said 95%. If they did, it was probably a typo. They probably meant to say every Dominican you run into is friendly. Sure, they're scam artists, but they're scam artists everywhere in the world. No, yeah, Patrick, someone up top said that they were rude and disrespectful, and 95%, and that's not true. And Stephen, wow, 1,800 a month. I didn't get that one. Stacy, hi, beautiful. Hey, gorgeous. Patrick, laugh out loud, 1,800 a month. Well, if you rent out a place and it's valued over, I think, 149,000, you have to pay like 27% income tax to the government, don't you? I don't know about all that, because they think that tourism is going to return this year. Oh, you're talking about the earlier when I said 1,500 for a villa. It was a villa. Oh, you guys are talking about the apartment, the condo, all the way up from the top. Yeah, I don't know why they're charging that much for that condo. The landlord apologized to me anyway, but I'm not going to be working with him anymore. And let's see, good for you, Chica. Good for standing up for your right. James Beard, you're right. Cigar talk in the house. Cigar talk, what you saying there? Come on, let's hear it. And Rory, what's up? Randy, did you have to pay for your recent procedure? 2,500 pesos for the surgery itself. So that's like almost 50 American bucks. And I had to pay 800 pesos for my ultrasound. And I had to pay 2,000 pesos. And I had to pay about 1,000 pesos for my blood work. So, and also for them to bring back the results for my culture of the bacteria infection. So I don't think that was much at all. And Big L, let's talk about the disrespect about bringing a brother mayor tarnishing TMD's name. I don't know if I really want to talk about that. Because I like both of them for different reasons. I don't think okay, this is my opinion. I don't think Taylor Made Dreams legal situation is a scam. It could only be a scam if they're taking money and not rendering the service. Residencia? Yes, it is. I haven't heard Residencia ever being over $4,000 at all. The most that I hear it going for now is 2,500. The most that I hear it going for now. I know that he takes foreigners all the way to Santo Domingo. He has a really good connection with the courts. He has a really good connection with people in the offices and stuff like that. So he does help you. He holds you by your hand and he tells you everything. He does all the translating for you. He's a very honest man. And it's 2,500, and he gets probably the prices that I heard that Mayor, I don't call Mayor guys, I call him Mikey, quoted on his channel, they were over. But if some of you guys do want to use services that are a little bit more expensive, then that's up to you. You're not getting scammed, you're just getting a higher price. Kind of like using JetBlue or American Airlines, you know? You have to look for, you're gonna get a different service. That is an issue with Russell. I actually did a live to air with him, and we spoke about his legal service on my live to air. You guys can get a monthly membership, and I think that's pretty reasonable, 30 something bucks or something like that for a month. I don't know how often you'll use it, but a lot of you guys come down here and get yourself in a little bit of trouble and you don't know what to do. And so to have that at your fingertips is pretty awesome. Now, I haven't heard of anybody paying for a service and not having it happen. As long as the service is being rendered, it's not a scam, right? The service is still being offered to you. Now, is it more expensive than the average? Yes. Now, when it comes to Mikey tarnishing someone's name, I don't think he's the only one that, there's a lot going on right now with a lot of vloggers and a lot that's going on right now with a lot of inside stuff and a lot of opinions and a lot of, none of us are perfect. None of us are, we're here vlogging and we're here giving our opinions, and I'm pretty sure we all have our own issues and we all have something to say, and so I do know that there's the guys, they all hang together one moment and then another moment they're arguing, and there's just, that's going to happen, I guess, but it is what it is, and this too shall pass. And I want you guys to know that it's not going to reflect on your vacation when you come. If you choose to use Tailor-Made Dreams services because you feel that you get what you pay for, and paying a higher price than average is logical, go ahead and do it, right? But if you are a penny pincher and you have faith that you can get the same service at a lesser price, a lesser cost, less expensive service. Again, you do the same thing when it comes to airlines. You look for the cheapest flight when you're coming down here. You do the same thing when you contact me for apartments. You want to look for the most reasonable one. So same thing when it comes to a legal service. I do think it's overpriced. I really do. Mayor does have a point. Mikey does have a point. But I think it could have been brought out a little differently, but really, it's really not my business to get them all. I break bread with them. Not really break bread with them, but we pop bottles, okay, together. I've been to Tailor-Made Dreams house before. Russell, I call him Russell. I've been to Russ's house before in Puerto Plata. We've had a good time. He opened his door up to me, myself, and two of my friends. Oh, said, come on in, no problem. And we bought food. Oh yeah, we did break bread. I brought food from like a Rastafarian restaurant called D''Spot. Just before you enter Puerto Plata City, Rastafarian woman owns it, but it's not Rastafarian food. It's Dominican food, and I bought some some food, and we sat down and we ate. Like, I have no issues with Russ. I've done a few videos with Russell, and I did a video with Mikey as well. Mikey was my first person on what I call Cerise's Corner every Wednesday. And I was doing it every Wednesday at 2 o'clock from Cabarete initially, but now that I don't live in Cabarete any longer, and I live in Sosua, I'm going to be doing it from Playa, because I love Playa Sosua. And if any of you guys are like walking by or whatever, hail me up. And if you guys ever want to jump on camera and do a cameo, absolutely do it. I welcome you. But when it comes to a lot of these guys, you'd be surprised when you come down here, they don't do that in person. They don't fight in person. They could be sitting in the same bar, and they could all be at flip-flops at one time, and you wouldn't even know that they are angry at each other. Like, they keep the peace. So I think everyone's entitled to say what they want on their channel, and they're entitled to, like what I'm doing right now, pass their own opinion. But at the same time, I think maybe Mikey was calling it a scam because he knows that it was a little bit more expensive than the average price, and it's a little bit of price inflation. Is Tailor-Made Dreams, Russell, wrong for charging that much? I don't think so. I think he's working with a group of people, and everyone is expecting a commission. So in order for everyone to get paid, it has to be a higher price. I think that's the same all around the world. It's your choice whether you want to go to Louis Vuitton or if you want to go to Walmart, right? Well, it's not even that much of a price difference, right? It's your choice if you want to go to Walmart or if you want to go to Winners, right? So there's a difference. But it's like that all around the world. And, people are allowed to say what they feel. And I think it's really important for us not to rebuttal. Like, if someone does a bad video of us, it's going to affect us. It's going to hurt us. We're all human beings. We're going to reflect on it, and we're going to want to rebuttal it, and we're going to want to say something negative about it. But I think it's really important for us not to. You know, I've heard a couple of things about me out there too. And of course, you know, I pondered what I heard. I have a lot of you guys contact me when you guys hear something, like when you guys hear my name on a live to air, you guys will contact me. You guys, you viewers out there are loyal. When you're loyal to someone, you're loyal to them. So I'll give you that much. But you guys date on what is being said about us. I've heard a few things about me, and you know, I got to admit, it doesn't feel good. And you know, I just sometimes close my eyes and bite my tongue and cross my fingers that my children aren't listening to that particular video, or my mom, or my grandmother, or my granddaughter. You know, like, I'm just like, ouch, that hurt. Okay, take a licking and keep on ticking. What am I going to do now? That's just someone else's opinion, and that's on their channel. And I do have loyal viewers, and I do have, I don't call you guys fans. I don't call you guys followers at all, because I don't believe in those words at all. If anything, I'm your fans. You know, I mean, I'm a fan of yours. Like, I'm can't wait for you guys to get down here. I'm rooting for you guys when you're making life changes and stuff. I call you guys my friends, my family, and viewers. If you guys have not hit me up yet privately on WhatsApp, you will see that when you do, I will answer you. Like, and I'm the only one answering you. Nobody else has access to my phone at all. And I give my private phone number out to you guys for you guys to hit me up, so you guys can tell me about your private business, right? And so I do appreciate it when you guys tell me when you heard something about me. You send me a link of a video, and I'll watch that video. And again, you know, I'm like, okay, well, that's what that person thinks about me. At least I know now. But am I going to make a whole private video about that person and what that person said about me? Absolutely not. I will not give them that. I won't let them dig that deep into my soul. Okay, because they are not paying my bed, and they're not paying, they weren't with me at the hospital the other day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, sometimes it does affect me, whatever is said, but I think the main thing with what's going on right now, we all just have to be patient. We have to realize that this too shall pass. It is a pandemic going on around the world. There's a lot of bloggers with a lot of opinions, and Sosua is very small, and we all know each other. And you guys will come here. You guys will come here, and you'll walk down the beach. You'll see me, and a lot of people will say, you guys will come up to me, and you know, you'll be, hey, Cerise, what's up? Oh my gosh, I was waiting to see you. I already met Russell. I already met Mayor. I already met Flip Flop. I already met, you know, like Mr. T, right? Because those are the major, like, we are the major ones here, the main ones, and here in Sosua, right? Mr. T, Flip Flop, myself, Mayor. Mayor is more new on the scene in the last year, but you know, I mean, Russ, he's more Puerto Plata, but initially he was Sosua until he moved. So yeah, I think it's important for us to have thick skin, and I think that's where the soul coach comes out in me, where I'm like, you know what? I can only practice what I preach. Yes, I don't like hearing things about myself that are negative, but I also have to be positive enough or logical enough to realize that I'm not perfect. Come on. And I have enough flaws that I do a very good job of picking on myself. And I don't think anybody else can pick on me more than I can pick on myself. Trust me, I live with myself, and I'm a work in progress. So some people say what they want to say. What can we do, right? I'm just going to look at these messages here right now, because I do believe that this too shall pass. Let's see. Clara Castillo, thank you, Cerise, for educating me. Oh, pleasure, sweetheart. KJ, hey, Cerise, hey. Clara, thank you for Clara Castillo. Thank you for defending Dominicans. I'm Dominican, and I do appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I love you. Kevin, thanks, Cerise. And when I decide on a date to come for my second trip to DR, I want 24 hours. Just hit me up. And I can get you in a place. There's always a place available, depending on your budget. But you have to, if it's a short notice, then you have to be willing to work with me and getting you a place. And then once you get here, if you don't like it, I can switch you up real quick. So don't worry about that. Like, not a problem at all. Okay, Stacy, I can't wait to be in a place where so much friendliness and love, and America has lost that. Yes. Cigar Talk, my better half and daughter are Dominican, so I can tell you most Dominicans are good in the tourist areas. Thank you, Cigar Talk. Cigar Talk, you're right. You're right. I agree 100%. 100%. It's in the Campo, the country where there's not a lot of tourism going on. Dominicans appreciate tourists up there. They don't sit there and give dirty looks or anything. They'll look at you, and a lot of them say to me, "Are you Dominican? Are you from Santo Domingo?" And I'm like, no. And then once I speak, they know I'm English, but they're like, "Oh, wow." And like, you buy a beer, one beer, and they will share it amongst 3 people, because one beer will pour 3 small plastic cups. They'll share it amongst 3 people. They don't go out and buy a 2-4 the way they do in Canada and expect you to buy more and more and more, right? But the hustle is real in the tourist area. Absolutely. You might think you're buying a box of cigars that are authentic, but they're not. You get home and you puff it and you're like, I don't know, because I don't smoke cigars, but I did have a friend that bought cigars. He's a cigar smoker. And when he got home, he opened up the box and he went to smoke one, and he's like, "Oh man," and he got mad at himself. But I was like, okay, you're really gonna buy a box of Cohibas for $20, $25? Like, how's that gonna happen? Like, you have to use your common sense too, right? So that was a scam, because you weren't rendered the service or the product that you were promised. And that's a scam, definitely. But you're not going to be promised Mercedes-Benz and get like a K car. Do you guys remember K cars from back in the day? Some of you guys might not. So let me use a cheaper Chevrolet. The Chevrolets from back in the day, you know? You're not going to be promised a Rolex and get yourself just some little Casio, right? No, it's not going to happen. But you might be promised, you know, an Acura and get a Honda, right? Well, Acura and Honda, I think they're the same make anyway. But it's not like a whole, oh my gosh, the house is gonna blow down, you know? There are some things that you do have to be witty about, but really in the tourist area, in Sosua, especially on the beach, and that's where you're going to get hustled. In Cabarete, this chain that I'm wearing right here, I love it. It's thick. I bought it for 1,000 pesos. I ended up ripping the guy off, actually. Every time I see him, I'm like, oh gosh, I hustled him so badly. so, and that's not good either. The other end of it is not good, right? But I'm just such a good, like, I'm just good at doing it. I'm just good at getting really good prices. And so the guy said to me at first, 3,000 pesos. No, he said 4,000 pesos, $80 for this chain. Now I know full well in Canada, I probably would have paid 50 or 40 for it, because it's very, very strong. Might not look that strong, but it's very, very strong. And I know my jewelry. So he said 4,000 pesos, $80. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not paying $80 for that. I said, you know, it's overpriced. He knows me from, like, you know, before I bought a few things off him. And this is on Cabarete Beach. And then he's like, oh, you know, okay. He looks at me and he tells me 3,000 pesos. So he went down $20. And he went from 80 to 60. And when he went from 80 to 60, that much of a jump, I realized that I can take it down 20. So I said 2,000 pesos. That's $40. And then he's like, okay. And then I was like, well, he said okay a little too quickly. And, you know, he didn't hustle for the bottom line. And so I said, actually, no, I don't need it. And he was like, and I said, I have so much jewelry at home. I really don't need it. But I really did want it, right? And he's like, oh, mi amor, please. And I said, no, I don't really need it. And then he's like, okay, you give me a price. And I said, I don't want to give you a price because pesos. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just give me a price. And I was like, I would say 500 pesos. And he's like, no, pretty much just giving it to you. And I was like, well, I don't know. You're going to have to like work with me. And he said, okay, give me another price. And I said, 1,000 pesos. And he looked at it. He looked at me. He looked at it and he thought about it. And I knew at that point he was going to say yes. So he said yes. And I knew he was still making money off it, like making money from it. And I knew I was getting a good deal. So yeah, be careful what you buy. Don't go for the first price. 4,000 pesos, 80 bucks all the way down to 20 bucks. That's a huge drop. That's a $60 difference, right? So yeah, that was almost what some people would call a scam. But really it depends, because a lot of foreigners would come here and pay the 80 bucks for it. Again, it's a lot thicker than anything. And I love it. It's one of my favorite necklaces. And I only paid 20 bucks for it. So, you know, like, yes, there's scams all around, and especially on the beach, but it's with things that they know that foreigners want, like eye candy, shiny things, and, you know, they know right away how much you like it. But that's the same in flea markets in Canada, okay? In a flea market in Canada, and I learned that little hustle from flea markets, as I used to like to buy a lot of Louis Vuitton bags and stuff like that, and, you know, little like name brands and stuff like that. And so you have to hustle down the people at the flea market. And markets, right? So you just have to keep be mindful of things. But the hustle is real, but the hustle is more on very like small ticket items, you know? So just don't buy everything that your eye lands on. If you're in Playa Sosua, Playa Cabarete, and there's an item that you like, tell them you'll be back. Say to them, put it aside for me. I'm going to think about it and I'll be back. And if they feel like you're not going to be back, they'll say to you, okay, give me a price. Never take the first price. Never. Nowhere in the world. Never take the first price. Unless, of course, you're in like La Serena, which is like Walmart here, jumbo, where the prices are marked like they would be in Walmart or Winners or any store. You can't go in and hustle it down. But in Toronto, there's places called Pacific Mall, which is a Chinese ran place, Asian ran place. And then there's little Chinatown on Spadina in College area in downtown Toronto, and you can go in those stores and I would go in those stores and hustle them. There's no prices on anything. If there's no prices on something, then you know you have the whole platform to negotiate. I won't say hustle, because hustle is such a hood word, but negotiate. You can go in and you can negotiate a really good price. So always be aware of that. It doesn't mean you're getting ripped off, but yes, Cigar Talk, you do have a very good point there. Patrick, who is this? The gringo price, or also known as gringo tax. Oh, okay. I like that, gringo tax. I have to look them up. Living abroad. Hello, Queen. Hello, King. How you doing, baby? It's Patrick, story time. I did a story time today, and it is editing right now. Oh, let me go put this phone on the charger. Have to put the phone on the charger, otherwise it will run out of battery, and then story time won't be up tomorrow. I was expecting for it to be up today, but I got so busy again. My friend came over to cook for me, and we had a really good time with his son here as well. Living abroad, as much as they will pay. Business 101. Yeah. Living abroad, friends till the end. Yes, you always answer me. That is true. Aw, thank you, sweetheart. Patrick, trust me, you'll never regret taking the higher ground in arguments. Brother from another mother in La Casa. Yes. Looking forward to your trip coming up October 22nd. We're going to Santo Domingo. Dano. Hello, Cerise. Hello, Dano. Patrick, laugh out loud. K-Cars. You like that one, right? K-Cars. Jose Espanol. Cerise, Dominican Republic is a chip country for life. You needed only 12,000 for live very good here in USA. You need to live 2,000. Yeah, it is double the price. Cigar Talk. What you described with the chain is not a scam. You examined the merchandise, negotiated a price, and made an informed purchase. Thank you. Thank you. Every time I see that, thank you, Cigar Talk. I needed to hear that therapy because every time I see the guy I'm probably going to see him tomorrow on Playa Cabarete when I'm there. But every single time I see him, I'm always like, hi, like, I don't know, because I took him all the way down from 80 to 20. And then I have to really think about the flip side. He was about to charge 80 and he realizes that he could have taken 20. So guys, always be on your best guard. And Cuba is no different. Jamaica is no different. Toronto and Wasaga Beach area during the summertime is no different either. Holy smoly macaroni, a pair of sandals that you can get at the dollar store for $1. It's hiked right up to like $10 just because it's located on a beach, right? No, ridiculous. So you guys, if you guys are looking for deals here and you're looking for sandals, you're looking for flip-flops and stuff like that, and you find that the prices are high on the beach, then go to like one of the tiendas or go to one of the colmados for flip-flops. These flip-flops right here, I love them. They're elastic right here. They're so thick, very, very, very good quality. And sometimes you can even get real leather here. These ones are not real leather, but I mean, I bought these for 200 pesos, $4, and I've had them for a while. I have a blue pair. I also bought a pair of Adidas, like knockoff Adidas, but they're still really pretty and good quality. And a pair of Tommy Hilfigers that weren't knockoffs, and they were a good price too. And I bought those all in a colmado, a corner store. So if you guys are on the beach and you're looking for something, I'm not discouraging you from supporting the local vendors, but you might want to say to them, go down a little bit in price because I can go down the street to a colmado and get them for a certain price as well. And one of my favorite sayings for the last year and a half is Joe Bibo and Los Charamicos. That means I live in the hood. Like, don't try to up the price. I'll say that even in Cabarete because everybody knows where Los Charamicos is. Everybody knows Los Charamicos is a barrio. And so I make it sound like, I'm living where there's no electricity. Like, don't try to raise the price on me. And they laugh at me. And they're like, what do you want? And you can make this scam an enjoyable experience. And I don't even want to say scam because scam means that you are paying for something and you're not getting like a product or a service. And that's not what's happening. You're just getting an inflation on price at certain times, but you can negotiate. Don't go for the first price, just don't. Sometimes they'll just say to you, you give me a price, especially if they're not a salesman, especially if it's something that they have that you want, like cacao cream. It's made from the cacao nut. And so, they have to mash up the whole nut and everything. I'll show you the nut. Just give me 1 second. And you make cocoa with it. Like you can make chocolate with it, like real dark chocolate. Here's the cacao seeds. Mash these up with their hand, and then they have to kind of like bleach them, and then I don't know how they get white cream out of it, like white. It's almost like shea butter. It's almost like cocoa butter. You know, I don't know how they do all that, but they do. And I had a gentleman that made some for me, and he lives up in Gaspar Hernandez, and he just has a whole bunch of trees on his property. He doesn't do it for a business, and he gave it to me as a gift, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. And then I asked him to make me more because I really loved it. And when I asked him, I said, when you make me more, how much is it? And he said, I don't know, you give me a price. And I said, well, how long does it take you to make like a baby jar full of stuff? And he's like, I don't know, I just do it. Right? And so there's those types of people here too. And you will get to a point where when you're living here and you're going to the campo, the countryside, and you're going into certain areas and barrios where people are using their skills to make a couple of bucks, you will get to a point where it's rock bottom prices and very good quality products and services. And you will feel at certain times like you're taking advantage. So you have to be very careful as well. Some people, they forget. He was at my place, I had a whole bunch of people over when some of you guys might remember when I was living in that really big 2-bedroom house with Chiquito, the dog. That was the guard dog there, and I had like 76 banana trees and like 4 mango trees and avocados and cherry trees and all that. Remember that place? Well, my friend had locked his keys in the car, and we thought it was just going to cost probably like 100 pesos to get the keys out the car. Well, the guy was like, okay, when the guy was said and done, he said, okay, you can pay now. And then my friend was like, okay, how much? And he went to give him 200 pesos. He thought he was going to give him an extra little tip, or 300 pesos or something. And the guy looked at him and he's like, the guy came all the way to motor concho. Motor concho, for those of you who don't know, is somebody who uses their motorcycle as a taxi. And he had to pay for a motor concho. Not only that, it took him about 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes to get into the electronic car without destroying it because it was a rental. And then he, wasted his time there. So he looked at my friend and he was like, can you put a couple of bucks more in? Like, make it 500 pesos, which is 10 bucks. You guys know that it's not going to cost 10 bucks in Canada or America to have someone jimmy the keys out of your car. You know that they're going to charge, I don't know how much they charge, but I would say at least 50 bucks. So my friend was more than happy. My friend actually felt a little embarrassed, and he was like, my friend said to me, turned around, and he's like, you know what, Cerise? Yes, the guy charged a little bit more than what I thought he would, but at the same time, it's a lot less than what it would be in America. And we have to keep that in mind here. We have to keep the fine balance in mind. And I think that is when we start to realize that we're good. Okay. Let me see here. Am I missing any messages? So I just want to say to you guys, again, when you're here, be very careful not to put the people down who live here, the people here who are natives and they're born and raised here. Mr. Aubrey. Oh, Aubrey. That's Drake's real name, you guys. Drake. Canada, Drake. I bought it, fell apart before I finished my Presidente. Never again. Don't buy Ray-Bans on the beach. And especially if the guy says to you, there's only one dude who sells, on Playa Sosua. There's one dude, and I don't want to ruin his game, but tell him I told you this. Sometimes his glasses are real. Okay, I bought a real nice Paris Versace glasses off him. And you will always know when he knows his glasses are real because his brother owns a pawn shop here in Los Charamicos. And I always buy stuff off his brother, like really good quality items. Mine, I just remembered something. that I left, a piece of jewelry that I left in Cabarete. I'll find it. There's a few things that I left in Cabarete that I need to get. And he'll come up to you and he'll say, with the sunglasses like this, he sells sunglasses only, and he'll say, liquidation price. And he speaks English, and he calls me, I will not pay anything over 200 pesos for any glasses for him. Because I'll be like, let me see, I'll put them on. And it's a running joke between the two of us now. And he keeps it moving. And I'll be like, come back here, as I know he has something good. I'll be like, come back here, let me look at those glasses. And he'll be like, no, they're not 200 pesos. And I'll be like, I know that means they're real. And I'll be like, I know, let me see them. And I'll look at them, and they're nice and heavy, very well made. You can tell that they're authentic, Armani or whatever they are, So just be careful with buying sunglasses from any place here, because you might be under the assumption that they're authentic. A lot of them are knockoff. A lot of them are bought from China. So, when it comes to sunglasses, yes. They broke before you finished your Presidente. For those of you who don't know what a Presidente is, it's a beer. So, one of the large ones or one of the small ones? I apologize for laughing at you. All right, cigar talk. Yes, you must respect the culture. Just don't leave your brain at home. You got that cigar talk anywhere you go. Don't leave your brain. Baby, you're gonna be here soon. And if we don't meet this trip, we're gonna meet again. New York in the house. Brooklyn in the house. That's actually the song, Brooklyn in the House. That's where I got in the house from. Mr. Aubrey, I like DR on a whole. I treat them with appreciation. The good thing for me is I speak Spanish, and it drives them crazy when I start negotiating in Spanish. That's really cute. Yes, they actually, a lot of them, I love how when I first got here and I didn't speak any Spanish at all, and now even to my Spanish friends that speak English, I speak Spanish to them. Like, I just kind of morphed right over into speaking Spanish with them. Even my ex, I was speaking to him, and I just speak Spanish to him now. Hear a word or whatever. I never ever thought I would feel so comfortable speaking Spanish to him, and he likes it too. He'll laugh and he'll be like, look at you speaking Spanish. Oh my gosh. Or like if we happen to be around someone else, like he'll be like, look at Cerise speaking Spanish and stuff like that. So yeah, they do love it once you do speak Spanish. But once you do speak Spanish and you can just throw down with the hustle, they're like, okay, alrighty. All right, already. It's comical. I love it. Let me see. David Rich, this is such a great topic. Thank you, sweetheart. And you're going to be here soon, too. All you guys. I got to tell you, so many of you guys are coming down here really soon. My book is loaded with October. And already January. You guys are already booking up for January as well. So that is so encouraging, because you guys are... you just excited to come here. And a lot of you guys that are excited to come here as well, and you haven't even been here before. There's a lot of you guys that have never been here. There's a couple of my clients that are like, Cerise, I've been watching your videos. I've been watching other vloggers' videos, and I'm ready. And I just want to come down. And you guys are coming down, and you guys are very excited about your apartments that you're getting, and you're very excited about walking on the beach and everything. But again, when you see us vloggers on the beach, don't just look at us. Stop us, hail us up. You don't have to buy us a beer. You don't have to buy us food. You don't have to do anything. You just have to say, hey. Half the time we don't even know you're a viewer. And do I know you? And that's how I do it. I'm like, do I know you? Like, did I meet you before? Because I always want to be thorough, right? But you guys will be like, no, I watch your videos. Keep up the good work. And that's it. You guys keep it moving. I keep it moving. Or sometimes you guys will be like, Cerise, and hail me up and everything. But I just want to encourage you guys to do that, because all of the vloggers, the ones that I know here, they really enjoy it. They want to meet you guys in person. They do want to, like, you know, hear your questions. They want to answer your questions, and they also want to, you know, hear what you like about their videos. I love it when people stop me, or if I just happen to be sitting somewhere and they stop and they come and they sit down with me and they're like, hey Cerise, how's Noche? Noche may not be with me at the time. She's with me a lot of the time when I'm on the beach and everything of that nature, but you know, we're outside here in Los Charamicos and everything, but if I don't have Noche with me, a lot of people will say, hey, how's Noche? And I think that's quite sweet too. You know, there's a lot of vloggers that live here and they are here full time and they're very approachable and you don't have to worry about bothering them. I would say hail us all up. Patrick, I thought the U.S. State Department finally lowered the Dominican Republic to a level 3. I just checked and it's still classified as a level 4. Do not travel. Makes it hard to get travel health care. You know, or I'm kind of in the dark about that here. I don't pay attention to it because sometimes things get blown out of proportion everywhere around the world, and I really don't know a lot of people with it. I heard of one woman on Facebook, and she lives in Cabarete, and she let it out. She just said it on Facebook. She was like, she was diagnosed with COVID or something like that, but she's not on, like, she's not sick, you know, she's not sick. She's going out, she's doing whatever. She's not sick. So I don't know what she was diagnosed with. Maybe a lower form of it. I really don't know. But sometimes things are exaggerated for political reasons, and I'm not a person to get involved in that or to talk about that. It's none of my business. I'm not a politician, and I'm definitely not, you know, trying to be one. But I do believe that there's some things that are exaggerated, and this president that we have right now is on top of things. He's not fooling around. Luis Abinader, he is a good president. The people love him, and he is taking care of his people first. He's not greedy for tourism, but he is increasing tourism. He's making sure that tourism works. So please be very careful what you guys are reading. Thank you, Patrick, for letting us know that. But please be very, very careful what you're reading on the internet. And be very careful of believing everything as well, because not everything that we read is true. And just contact people that you know here. Ask them what's going on. Like, you know, we are boots on the ground here, a lot of us vloggers, and we are here to help direct you. Not all of us, again, not all of us are perfect, and there's a lot going on right now with vloggers and being exposed and all that stuff, and you know, but it is what it is. And I mean, there is an increase of vloggers, and there has been a lot of you know, craziness. I experienced something last year, and I didn't talk about it, but like on camera, like on videos, I didn't talk about it, but I contacted 2 vloggers to talk about it. There was a dude who doesn't live here, and he comes here on vacation only, and he has a channel, and he came here and he saw my channel, and he wanted to interview my ex. And so my ex and I were going through a really bad breakup, and I mean, we're friends now, on and off. You know, he's going to be my motor control driver tomorrow because I need him to help work. I need to go out to Cabarete, and he agreed to help me out, especially now with the surgery and stuff like that. And you know, I guess it got real to him that, you know, I'm a human being, and So he's showing his humanitarian side again. And so apply a Cabarete, I'm going to take him out to lunch for helping me tomorrow. But that's just the relationship we have. We talk for a couple of months, and well, we might talk for a couple of weeks or a week, and then we don't talk for a couple of months, right? But I think that's just normal. But anyway, this other vlogger, I had made a live to air about something very personal about my ex and I, because I'd like to share with you guys. And this other vlogger saw it. And in this one video that I have now deleted, I deleted it the next day because I didn't want to trash my ex. I felt like maybe that was a little private, even though I wanted to share it with you guys. And so this one vlogger, he saw the video, and he messaged me, and he's like, "Hi Cerise, sorry about your breakup, and sorry about your video. I watched your live to air. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to interview your ex. And so just to give you a heads up." And I'm like, "Interview my ex about what? Don't talk about me." And he's like, "Oh, well, I'm going to talk to him about the weather." And I was like, "Well, he's not a weatherman. Like, he doesn't even have a channel. What are you going to talk to him about? You only know him because of me. So don't get him caught up talking about our private business just because you want views on your channel. It's none of your business what him and I are going through, and it's none of your business to share that with the world if I myself deleted that video." And he's like, "Relax, woman. It's not going to be about you." And he went off, and I went off, and he blocked me, and I contacted my ex, and I was like, "What's going on?" And he didn't realize that my ex and I were actually talking at the time, right? And then I said, "What's going on?" And my ex was like, "I don't know. This guy wants to pay me to do a video with him." And I was like, "Pay you to do a video? What does he want to talk about?" And he's like, "I don't know. I think he wants to ask me questions about our relationship." And I said, "Well, be careful. Don't get caught up in all that drama, please. You're not caught up in it now. Yes, I reveal certain things from time to time based upon what I want to share and everything like that. But, just don't get caught up with other vloggers trying to get involved and trying to, get kind of sticky." And my ex agreed. And he said to me, "You know what, Cerise, you're right. I'm going to do the interview with him." And I was like, "Okay, well, you can do the interview with him, like, especially if he's going to talk to you about the weather." Right? But and then I contacted a couple of other vloggers, right? Two main vloggers. And I was just like, what is this guy up to? Like, am I right for being a little sensitive right now? Or am I going overboard or whatever? And both of the vloggers said to me, "No, Cerise, we understand where you're coming from. That's your personal business. That vlogger doesn't even live here. If you want, I can talk to him about it. Like, I can ask him what's up. Like, why would he want to target you, type of thing like that," right? Both of those guys said that they were going to talk to him. And both of those guys did. They both spoke to him, and they both told him, settle down. Your channel shouldn't be about, like, well, I don't know what they said to him, but I'm only assuming that they probably said to him, like, why are you gonna, interview her ex when, like, he's to do really with anything, like, with what was going on, right? And then the guy got really nasty, and he made a video about me, really nasty. And then there were a whole bunch of people commenting, viewers, not a whole bunch, about a handful of people. So I do want to say, you guys kept it real. You guys are really kind to me. Thank you for that. If some of you guys know who I'm talking about. And a couple of you guys really went on, about 3 of you guys went on, and you guys said a few mean things, because he put up a picture of me when I was, like, caught in the freeze. How when I'm animated, my face is animated. I move my eyebrows a lot. I open my mouth a lot. I have an animated face. So he put up a photo of me going type of thing, right? And this was like a year ago. And it was a little hurtful, but I guess it is what it is. And I would say that those are the things that, right, that was the first person that really did any of stuff like that. And I thought that was quite mean for hurt people just because they didn't get their way. And he also lied. He also said that I was getting people after him. That was a lie. I don't have any friends that would go beat up someone else. I don't hang around people that are tigres. I don't do that. I would never ever get anyone to hurt anybody else physically, ever. I can pow pow somebody with my mouth. Like I have enough mouth on me where I can just tell them where to go, how to get there, and how to return. I can do that all on my own. I don't need anybody else. But I just contacted those other two vloggers just to be like, yo, am I taking this overboard? So, I just want to say, down here right now, there are a lot of people that are vlogging and a lot of people who are choosing to come here and live. And there's a lot of people who are choosing to come here and not vlog and just live a very quiet lifestyle. And you guys watch our vlog. So I just want to say, if there's anything going on out there and around that is disturbing you, or even if it's like your little secret, desire to watch the videos that are, kind of like exposing vloggers and stuff like that, it's okay. It's okay. We're all entitled to whatever. I just have to say that it is what it is. I know my mom watches my like people down here, and my son and my daughter and my granddaughter and my grandmother, and my good friends, my family, my clients, and so it is what it is. But what are we gonna do, right? At the end of the day, we all have to keep our head above the water, and we all have to make sure you guys coming down here are living a good life, and you guys are happy, and you get an apartment that you're going to be very comfortable in and feel safe and feel like you're growing, because that's the main thing when you guys get here. Especially how you're not going to know your way around, and you're just going to be on Pedro Clisante, and your life might be just about going up and down the main street, Pedro Clisante or Alio Martinez. But once you get in your brain, Alio Martinez and Pedro Clisante are parallel to each other, and you can get everything done on those two streets, and you just have to crisscross. You'll never get lost in El Bate. And you get here, you ask people how to get around on the streets. Again, when you see us vloggers, hail us up. Never mind if one person is talking bad about the other person. Don't pick sides. Just be just be cool and calm, and realize that there's positivity in everyone and there's negativity in everyone. One thing I do have to say, when you guys do come down here, those of you who really do respect the Dominicans, you really do respect the Dominicans. Like, just going off the whole vlogger topic right now. But those of you who really do love the Dominicans, oh boy, you love the Dominicans. Oh boy, you just love them. Some of you guys bring down hats and t-shirts and, baseball supplies for the kids and basketball supplies for the kids. Just before the pandemic, I was supposed to do an interview with somebody named Chris, who is from Toronto, Canada, and he was getting a whole bunch. Shouts out Chris, shouts out Randy, and he was getting a whole bunch of supplies together for the children to bring them down here. And it was such an exciting thing, and then the pandemic happened, so that plan got changed over. But a lot of you guys are coming down here just for the people, just to bring gifts, and you don't mind being on the street and giving a little something and for nothing. Some of you guys will just give something for nothing, not even a service or a product. Some of you guys will, there's a woman selling avocados. You don't want the avocado, but you'll still give her some change. I saw a brother from another mother do that. And he was like, I don't know if you remember Brother from Another Mother, if you're still here on the feed, about a month ago when you were here, because he comes down here often, he was here about a month ago or something, maybe a month and a half, and we were at Flip Flop, like a basket on her head with bananas, and he teased her a little bit, and he took a banana, and he's like, 2 for 1 today, right? 2 for 1. And she's like, no, joking back with him and everything. And he took 1 banana for himself, and he paid her for a bunch, and that's just what a lot of you guys do. You're like, yeah, I don't need all that, but here, there's a little something for you. So that's another thing that I see a lot of you guys do culture, and you understand that there is a scam going on, but it's not a really big scam. And again, I don't want to say scam, because scam is a word that means that you are getting ripped off, and it's not necessarily getting ripped off if you're still getting your product and your service, right? You're just paying higher for it. Patrick, I thought the U.S. Department, okay, no, boom, boom, just moved into the room, stepped in the room. Hello, Cerise, with all those hearts, hello, love ya. She could be just asymptomatic. Sadly, with the COVID, okay. Sadly, a lot of companies follow it though. That's why when I'm trying to get travel health care insurance, it seems harder and harder. You know what? It is going to get harder and harder with health all around the world. But I would say try to get your health insurance online before you come here, because this is where you're going to use it, right? And it's really expensive to use like Red Cross and all that. So I would say go online and talk to an agent. The only place that I can think of right now is Universal Healthcare off the top of my head, because I used to be with them. And contact them and tell them that you're coming down here and you would like to purchase insurance. See if they'll hook you up before you come. And you might be able to get a good month or 2 months or 3 months. I'm not sure. I don't know what the new rules are now, but it might be even cheaper for you to pay wholesale. Boom, boom. Cerise, I'm only coming down there for you. Aw. Oh, thank you. Well, we're going to have to go out for dinner and chill and relax. Yoga in the house. Juan Johnny Santos. Shout out, Cerise. Mayor, you guys know Mayor. Mikey. Mayor Sosua. And Patrick, I always carry money to tip people, even if I don't buy anything from them. It's a form of respect. Hey, a lot of people do that. I used to do that when I first came here, and I was like the first time I came here, my first visit, I only came here twice. The first time I came here, I was here for 2 weeks, and then the second time I came here was like 6 weeks later, and I stayed. So the first time I came here for the 2 weeks, I did do that. I wanted to tip people a lot and everything. Now, I have my favorites, my favorite items that I like. So for instance, there's a woman that you guys might even know her. She sells that box. She has that box of candy when the clubs start to open. She usually comes around 5 o'clock at night. But now with the curfew, she comes around a little earlier. But she'll come around 5 o'clock at night. She sells gum. She sells lollipops and, cute girl. She's usually pregnant. Every year. But, every time I see her, she's pregnant. There's nothing wrong with that, though. Procreation is a beautiful thing. And she's my favorite. She knows, one of my favorites. She knows when she sees me, she comes right over to me. She beelines for me. She knows my favorite gum, and she takes out the gum for me. She hands it to me, and it's under the assumption that I'm going to buy. But of course, you can never buy too much gum, and it's overpriced. It's definitely overpriced. And I'll say to her, me, amor, I know it's overpriced, but I'll be, come on, but I'm always ready to pay at least 100 pesos for a few bags of nuts. I'm going to show you one bag of nuts, and I'm going to tell you guys how much it is. You guys are going to know it's overpriced. So this bag of nuts right here, I don't even eat them, but I buy them and I give them out to people. So here we go. yummy nuts. This is lime covered. It's like lime nuts. And I don't really like lime on things like at all. Like they have a lot of lime chips here. They have lime chips, they have lime chicharron in the package, and then lime nuts, and they even have like lime lay. She only has that flavor and she has regular flavor. But the other day she only had lime. So I bought lime, and these are like 20 cents each, 40 pesos. Oh yeah, 20 pesos, which is 40 cents, right? So she will, I'll buy like a whole bunch of offer, and then they come in like a strip, and I'll just break them off and share them with people. And she knows that I always like spend at least 100 pesos. So, and that's $2. And she'll like beeline it to me, and she knows for sure I'm going to buy off her. There's a couple of young Haitian girls, 3 of them that stick together. A lot of you guys probably know them. They're like around 15, 16 years old. And one of the Haitian girls, when I first got here, she was so young, and she was all alone. She didn't have anybody, no family, and she was selling eggs at the time with mustard and ketchup and mayonnaise, boiled eggs. So what she does is she'll crack open the boiled egg for you, and you can put your condiments on it, right? So I just don't want to eat a boiled egg that has been in the hot sun all day, right? But I would still buy a boiled egg from her, and I would give it to like, a hungry kid, if a hungry kid wanted it. It didn't have salmonella poisoning or anything like that. Like, she boiled them that day and she walks around. But I just don't want to eat hot boiled eggs during the day and, drink it with wine and stuff like that. So I would buy them and give them to a few hungry kids. But there's not a lot of hungry kids walking around Sosua. There's just a group full of boys that, you can see that they just like hanging out down by the beach with each other. And so sometimes they'll ask you for like a taco, or they'll ask you for like, a couple of pesos, right? So I'll buy from her as well. But I guess at the end of the day, you have to be ready to, just purchase a few things. That's all. And it's just, it just makes sense. People are selling things. If you don't want it, you just say no thank you. But there's going to be something that you will want. Like, there's people that walk around selling socks, and I love those socks. They're little like bobby socks, and some of them have the Hermes sign on them, Lacoste, and yes, they're all knockoffs, but they look really good and they're very well made. So if you guys are like, into socks, the ankle socks and everything like that, you can get Gucci, you can get Louis Vuitton, you can get all kinds of different ones, and you can hustling and everything, but they're not scamming. And sometimes they'll give you a higher price, but you can always tell them, no, you don't want to pay that price. And, they'll say, okay. Some of them will walk away and they'll be like, okay, forget it. Because they know what their cost was for it, and they know that they can't sell it to you any cheaper than that. So yeah, just keep it real with people. Don't call people scammers and con artists and stuff like that. Dominicans are here to make a dollar. There is no welfare system. Okay, so there is no welfare system. And I know some people in Canada living off the welfare system like crazy. There's people having babies, and taxpayers' dollars are paying for them. They have government housing, and the government's paying for their rent, and the government is also paying for their food, and the government is also paying for their school, everything. And down here, that's not happening. No, people make their money, but the government is not paying for anything. So if there's a woman that has a child, she may not know where she's going to get her meal from, right? If she doesn't have a lot of family here, or if she doesn't have a lot of support system here. If she has a lot of family here and a lot of support system here, Dominicans are very kind, and Dominicans do share. They are very, very, very considerate and compassionate that way. Absolutely. This morning when I woke up, Gustavo contacted me immediately, and he's like, hi, how are you feeling? Today was his day off, Sunday. Gustavo's my good friend. And he messaged me and he's like, hey, how you feeling? And I was like, and he did come by for a quick minute. Hero, Benaki. And he did come here for a quick minute, and we had coffee together. I had a coffee, he had tea. We went downstairs to the little cafeteria, came back up here, chit chatted and everything, watched a little bit of TV, and he left, right? And that was pretty much it. So, we do have to, take into consideration that there is no welfare system here. They don't get any top up from the government at all. And the what's it called? What's it called when you work and you get a certain minimum wage? The minimum wage here is like non-existent. Okay, like there's people here making 500 a day, 500 pesos a day. That's $10 a day, and they're working long hours, just as long as some of you guys living abroad, not the channel living abroad, but living outside of here. And you guys, you guys have welfare or something of that nature, and there is a certain standard of living because there is a minimum wage, so that doesn't happen here. And we have to really be mindful of that. Some people are really, really having it hard. Like, even next door to me, I live in the barrio, and here I'm living in this beautiful 2-bedroom apartment. It's gorgeous. None of the furniture here is mine, and it's not like I purchased it myself, but I have the ability to be here. And then there's an apartment next to me where on this side it's kind of nice, actually. I think I'm going to start talking to the manager of that building because it's nicely kept. But on the other side, it's very like there's no windows. It's just cement with a hole and a sheet. And I don't even know if they have running water. And that's not on the other side of the tracks. That's not on the other side of town. That's on the other side of my wall. Okay, so I think at the end of the day, when that type of reality is looking at you every day, and you hear people laughing and singing, no arguing and fighting, they're not angry, they're not hurting each other. I don't hear like a lot of fighting in the middle of the night at all. And during the day, I hear laughter and I hear music and I hear people sharing. So, I think that's when we have to look at a certain situation and see the real mentality, how you are at your roughest. How are you when you don't have any running water, when you don't have any food, when you don't have any electricity, when you have a cement wall with a hole in it and there are cockroaches this size running all over? Yeah, cockroaches this size, I'm not joking, with wings, okay? So I found one in my apartment last night. I did, oh my gosh. And it was like, they're so silly, those flying cockroaches, though. They're so silly. They don't know how to fly. And when they do fly, they land on their back and they look like they're dead. And then when you kill them, you feel like you're killing a mouse because they're so huge, right? So imagine, in any case, when you put all that into reality. And I found one in my apartment. Imagine, my apartment is like clean, it's brand new, it's modern, but that's because I keep my windows open during the day, and it probably flew in at one point, probably stuck to one of the curtains, and then, throughout the night, did its thing, and I just happened to get up. Everything was dark, and I just happened to get up to go use the washroom, and I looked on the floor. I thought Hero had pooed on the floor, because it was like that big, little, like the size of a chihuahua poo, but he doesn't. He's pretty cool. And I saw the cockroach and I was like, oh my gosh, the Hero poo on the floor. And I saw the cockroach and I was like freaked out. Oh my gosh. But they're here and it happens. But I'm just saying, like, the reality is real. And if you were staying in your Airbnb and you're in your gated community with your pool and you're just a walk from the beach, and you are living in that reality, and you are not looking on the other side of your wall where people may not have running water and people are maybe a little hungry, that's when you really start to look at it real. And that's when you're like, wow, okay, you know what? There is an economic difference. You don't call people con artists as much. You call them what it is, working, trying to get food in their mouth, trying to pay their bills, trying to maybe get out of what they're in and get to a different level, different standard of living. Like how a lot of us are doing it as expats. A lot of us come here. So imagine somebody here who's seeing a lot of us do that, because we have that money, we have that ability to come here and live a lot better. And they're just trying to still, keep afloat. So there's a huge difference, and we have to be mindful of that as human beings. We have to be mindful of that, that difference, and try to help our brother, try to help our sister, try to be a human being that wants to see other people grow and want to see other people survive. And I think that is the main thing that I see here when I am in the expat community and I overhear conversations of people blah 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 blah, and I think to myself, I don't think they've been in her house before, and if they were, it would be a whole different reality. I think to myself, I don't think they slept in her bed. I don't think they opened her fridge. I don't think they know her. I think they just, want to pay her for a certain service. And but when you really get down to the reality of it, why don't you check out some of their houses? If you like a woman and she's one of your regular working girls, ask her if you can visit her house. Ask her if you can visit her family home, see what happens, and then go in and see, and all that stuff might change a little bit. Maybe not a lot, because maybe you don't have a lot. Maybe you're living on a tight income. Maybe you're living on a very small pension, and maybe you can't give a lot. And so you do have to watch your bottom line, your bottom dollar. And that's totally understandable too, because a lot of people around the world don't have money. But all I'm saying is, when you do come here, don't put people down for trying to make a living. Don't put anyone down for trying to get a little something off the top, especially if you're coming to their country. I think it just is logical. And Patrick, I always carry money. Boom, boom. Yep. Juan Johnny Santos. You're getting gringoed, laugh out loud, with tips and handling out money to the poor. Got to keep an eye out on your cash. Cash that much, then maybe you should be saving your money in your own country, and not coming to a country where people are a little bit require a little bit more, right? I'm just that person that if my friend is hungry, I'm going to feed them, right? But I'm not just going to go around and feed everybody. I get that, but, do keep your eye on your money, but also let's break it down and keep it real. How much money are you giving away? How much money are you giving away in 1 month? If you have a pension of $1,200, in Canada, and you're a Christian or whatever, you're expected to give 10% of your income for tithes and offering at the church. I'm not saying give 10% of your income here, but I'm saying break a little off the top. And if you want something and you get a service, or a product, then be appreciative, because you're able to live cheaper and balance out your life in other situations. Boom, boom. They call them water bugs in America, but obviously not the housebound ones. They just roaches. Water bug? In America? You have them that big in America? Holy smoly macaroni. We don't have those in Canada. When I saw the flying cockroaches here, I heard about them, but I didn't see them until I realized I was seeing one. I thought they were like June bugs. I thought they were like, because they fly, and when they land on their back and they make like a June bug noise. So I just thought they were June bugs, and like June bugs fly, like beetles or whatever. Like they're like large beetles. But then one time, my friend who I was with killed one, and a wing came off, and the wing didn't look right. Look, I'm getting itchy even just talking about it. Ugh. And he was like a cockroach, like a cockroach. And I was like, what? That's a cockroach? And it looked just like a cockroach when I got closer to it. It had its two antennas, it had its legs, and the legs stick on you. Like that thing, you have to knock it off you. Cockroaches in Canada are like this, no bigger than that. And you can just kill it really easy or whatever. But whoa, cockroaches, tropical cockroaches, that's what they call them, water bugs. Oh, I'll never get used to them. Never. That's one thing I'll never get used to. Oh my gosh. I'm saying that now, but then watch, I'll probably get a couple of pet cockroaches in the next couple of years. Boom, boom. But good topic of reality. Boom, boom. You're right, Cerise, on the pure truth of poverty that others aren't trying to see. But to add to that, and I believe you touched on this earlier, there are some vloggers just riding on other poorness. Boom, boom. I had to get off a few people's channels because they started speaking ugly on other people's realities, and that ain't respectful. Water bugs in South. Oh, in the South, like Louisiana. Okay, Mississippi and Alabama. Okay, right. Where there's, and maybe it's hotter in those areas. Maybe grow larger. I don't know. But yeah, just back to a lot of other channels. There's a lot of people talking stuff on other channels. And there's a lot of people talking really positive stuff as well. And then there's some vloggers that go through metamorphosis, like they get here and they trash talk and blah, blah, blah. And then after coming back for a while and really meeting the real culture and the real people, they calm down a little bit and they stop talking about that they perceive as bad. And then all of a sudden they're one of the Dominicans, right? I've noticed that as well. So we do have to be mindful of new vloggers that are coming here, I guess, and are getting used to certain things. I just don't, I have an issue with some of the vloggers that try to give you tips on how to treat the women here, like as if the women are animals. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. And it's not because I'm a woman, but who are these men? Like, really, at the end of the day, half these men can't even keep a woman. And I can't talk because I'm one of those women that have a hard time keeping a man or finding a good man that I want to keep. But that's neither here nor there. I was the same way in Canada, right? It has nothing to do with Dominicans. I obviously came here single for a reason, right? So, I think, when guys are talking about the females here and in a very derogatory way, and I try hard not to hate on them. And I do a good job at minding my business, and I do a good job at it because, and it's not all the vloggers. Some of them are cool with it, but there's like one vlogger, and he doesn't live here, and he's not even here in the country right now. So I heard, but I have an issue with him because he thinks that he can come here and give everybody some type of a list of how to do things here, and he doesn't even realize that a lot of Dominicans are saying to me, "Who is this guy? Like, where is his list coming from? He doesn't even live here." And he's the type of guy that wouldn't sit down inside of a Dominican home and make the same vlog saying the same thing, right? So, it's nice when you can be Wizard of Oz behind a camera or behind the scene and, not be the same way in front of the people. I mean, he should just be so happy that he's even allowed to visit here and be free. I had a little tough time swallowing his information and digesting it, and then thinking about, my Dominican family and my Dominican friends that may be watching the same channel. And I didn't watch his channel, it's just a couple of his links were sent to me, and I wasn't able to watch it after. I was like, what is this guide on, on a guide on how to do things. Like, what? Please. These women would eat him up in a heartbeat if they actually were making the money that they are worth. You know what I'm saying? These women, if they were taken to America and they were given half a chance to make a little bit more money, they wouldn't even talk to him or give him the time of day. And it's so obvious, right? So it's just like, who does this guy think he is? And a lot of these guys, a lot of you guys were listening to him a little bit, but I know a lot of you guys have gotten tired of it. So it is what it is. But I just want to say that there are a lot of vloggers that are here, and a lot of them have amazing information for you. A lot of them offer consultations the same way I do. Some of them, they will, just kind of have your back. I have your back too. Sometimes people don't need consultations. I had a woman contact me yesterday, and she's like, Cerise, I'm ready for your consultation. And I was like, all right. And I said, it's $65 for half an hour. And my prices are like that too with my soul coaching. My soul coaching is $65 for a half an hour, right? My Canada prices. And she got back to me today, and she said, oh, you're expensive. And I said, well, I'm only worth what I think I am. If you don't think I'm worth what I think I'm worth, then there's other vloggers you can contact. And I gave her 2 other people that she could contact, right, for the consultation. They're not my competition because my experiences here are different than theirs, and they're going to have information that they can share that I may not, right? So I told her, I said, if you don't think your experience here is worth my time and what I charge, then you can contact another vlogger. And that's just the truth. That's the truth, Ruth. That's it. And then another couple contacted me today, and they said to me, oh, okay, well, we know you do consultation, and we've done our research and everything, and blah blah blah. They were going on, they were talking and telling me what they know. And I was like, well, I don't think you need a consultation. I think you just need to get down here. And they were like, really? And I was like, yeah, straight up. Of course, I want to do business with you, but you already know what you're talking about. So why am I going to be redundant and take your money from you, right? This other woman, I could tell that she didn't really do her research, and she was still, needing a lot of guidance. And we probably would have went on for an hour and a half. When I say 65 for a half an hour, chances are we're going over an hour, right? As you guys can see right now how much I can talk about what I love. And so it's not a half an hour. It's sometimes 40 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. And yesterday I did a consultation, and it went on for an hour. Shouts out to the couple in Jamaica, and they're coming here too. And so, it just is what it is. So there are vloggers here that provide very good information, and sometimes guys, sometimes the information that we have is so invaluable, and you can't put a price on it, because some of the information can help you save your life. It can help you save money. It can help you save others. So some things you can't put a price on. But at the end of the day, I would say definitely come to this country, love this country, and understand that the people are not on a welfare system here. The people are not getting 1 cent from the government. There are no rations here. Like, it's not like Cuba where somebody can go and get the ration, a bag of rice for a family, and within the first week it's gone, right? But here it's not even like that. There's really no food banks that I know of anyway here in Los Charamicos. During the pandemic there was, like when everything was closed down and there were no tourists coming in. Yeah, there was like different spots around different areas with food that they were giving out. But aside from that, there's really not a lot. So they really do rely on us, guys. And if you're coming here and you are getting a huge break on rent, some of you guys contact me and you're like $350 a month for rent, and I can do that for some of you guys, especially if you're not looking for luxury. And $350 a month for rent, like some people are paying that in Airbnb fees for like 2 days, 3 days in Toronto. Like I remember I went away to Penetanguishing in Ontario just for 7 days in a beautiful house. It was gorgeous, but it was $100 a day. And at the end of the week, with taxes and everything, and then the food that I had to buy, and then the transportation and everything, it was way over $1,000, right? So, and that was just for 7 days. So imagine, and that's $1,000 can pay for 2 months rent in some people's places here. That $1,000 can pay for my rent for 2 months and a half here, right? So, I think it is just common sense for me to pay it forward a little bit and not have to worry about anything. A lot of comments I hear here that I really don't like is, oh, Dominicans, oh. And what do you mean by that? Like, you know how racist that is? Do you know how in Canada we would never ever say the whole entire race? And if we do, it's rude. It's really rude. Like, but yet it's so freely done here. And it's done in front of a lot of Dominicans. And it's said to a lot of Dominicans. Some people say it in jokes. Oh, you're just scamming. I know you Dominicans. Some people think they're saying it like a joke. And that's hurtful. You don't look at someone and say, oh, blah, 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 blah. Right? I hope I don't. None of us are perfect. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect. All I'm saying is that we have to be careful about what information we spread, especially what this came off today when the guy said to me about my surgery. And I don't want to make it all about him because he came back at me really sweetly. Like when I went off on him and I was like, look, I'm just tired of hearing this. I'm really tired of it. And he came back at me and he's like, well, all my friends are Dominicans. But that's like somebody running around calling the N-word. And then when someone calls them out on it, they say, well, I have a black friend. It's just, don't do it, right? Like, I think we need to stop with the fear and we need to start with the respect first. And, just really look at these people who are highly educated, doctors here travel all around the world to learn, and they're educated. And a lot of Dominicans are smart. That's why a lot of foreigners, when they come here, some of them can get taken for a ride from some of the people that are just really intelligent because they do know English. And, even Haitians, a lot of the Haitians here, they know a lot of languages. Haitians will know Italian sometimes, Portuguese sometimes, and stuff like that, So when you do encounter people here, you're not encountering people that are just sitting there with their hands out. It's not even like that. They're people who need to ask, okay, in their own country. And they are accepting us to come into their country, and they're asking us for a little top up. So I just want to encourage you guys, if you don't have it to give because you're on a pension, that's fine. You may be in a really tight situation yourself. You might be down here because you can't afford to live where you come from. And it might be dire straits for you where you come from. And then when you come here, you're just making it as well. I know a guy that contacted me and he gets a pension of $1,100 a month. Okay, like a disability check actually, $1,100 a month American. And his rent here is $450, and I got him a place for $250. It was just like a hotel room type of style, but he, once he got here and he was paying $250 a month for his rent, he realized that he could, move it up a little bit more. So he went to the 400s, and so now he's left with just a little over $600 a month for himself. And he also has medication that he has to take because he pays for that, and he really doesn't have a lot of money to share at all. Um, and you can see it in him and his, you can just see it, but he's so kind in other ways to people here. He's just so kind. He's so sweet, and he's just nice. To give money. Yes, most of the times it's about money because they need to eat and they need to buy nice clothes and stuff. But he will give people out little candies, right? Like he doesn't have a lot, but he'll buy candies at the store. The candy here is really candy. I love the candy here. I am looking over at my candy dish, my candy bowl. Let me go get it and show you guys. Hold on. Here it is. I love these candies. They taste like strawberry and tangerine, and even though I don't like lime a lot, the lime ones taste delicious too, right? But the candies are really cheap here, and so that's always good for me. I always like to chew a piece of corn eater as well, so I like little treats and sweets, and those things are really cheap here. But he buys like a whole bag of candy, and when he walks down the beach, he'll give someone a candy and stuff like that, and they'll take a candy. Dominicans love candy, right? And they'll take a candy. Or if his mom will send him things here, little care kits, and she'll send him like pencils and pens and stuff like that for the children. So he'll hand those on me here and the people here. So I'm just encouraging you guys to do the same. That's all. Do spend more time on focusing on the positive here as opposed to the negative. We're going to find negative all around the world. We are. But in a country like, I can only speak on the country where I'm from, and in a country where I'm from, Canada, and there's a welfare system, and there's people living really good. Like I know people that can buy cars off their welfare check. I know people that can buy the internet, they have cable, they have, furnished home, they're doing good. I don't know how they would be able to survive without the government, you know what I mean? With that top up. And here, it's interesting because babies have diapers. The moms get it together. They get it together. They do it. And I respect that. I respect it big time. They got it together, and is only logical. And then, I'm not saying that, because some of you guys have experienced negativity. Absolutely, you have. And I have too, relationship wise, like I have too, but it's just not to a degree that I can hate on the person. It is what it is. You have to take a licking and keep on ticking and know that it could be worse, right? So I just want to say, please, when you guys talk to me, at least, when you talk to me, I am not accepting of the negativity. It's like calling the N-word to me, okay? It's like calling someone an N-word, and they're black. I'm mixed with black. And if you come around me and you start calling out certain colors and certain names, I'm going to let you know that I'm not cool with it. So that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm just saying, do not WhatsApp me talking negative about Dominicans. Don't do it, because then I disrespect you. And I'm not willing to work with somebody that's going to come here and have a negative impression or anything of that nature before they even get here. You know what I'm saying? So just keep it real. Understand that the struggle is hard for a lot of people here, and understand that some people, they look at foreigners like having money because they do. When you come from a country where the government puts you up in a house for free, like, government housing. Some people might be like, well, government housing isn't all that. You still got a home for free. And also, when you have people on the welfare system in Canada with vehicles, scooters. Like I know one woman that's living downtown Toronto in a condo, a housing condo, and she does not work. And she hasn't worked all her life, and she's on disability now because she's overweight. Okay, and she's overweight. And she just smokes her cigarettes all day, and she drinks her coffee, and she watches her soap operas, and she lives a very good life, right? So, let's keep it real. That cannot happen here. People, that's just not happening here. So, of course, they look at people even on welfare as living the life, right? So, we really have to just break it down to how it is, and we have to stop putting people down, and we have to start recognizing people's struggles. I think, and then that's when we start to live with compassion, and then that's when we start experiencing favor from the universe, because the universe automatically gives back what we give. And sometimes it's not a physical thing that we are giving, or a tangible thing, I should say, that we're giving. Sometimes it's just love, understanding, a hug, or just a smile. I'm not trying to, discipline you. I'm not trying. Don't give me those little, oh, you know how Dominicans are, ha ha ha. Don't. All those little slurs and everything like that. I'm just gonna come right back at you and pow pow you con me boca. I'm gonna tell you off with my mouth. And I don't like to do it. It doesn't feel good. I don't feel good right now how I cussed that guy out today. I didn't use bad words or anything. It's a mosquito. Mosquito. I didn't it didn't feel good to have to tell him that, but I just wanted him to know, don't do it with me. He can do it with whoever he wants to do it with, and he can have all the Dominican friends that he wants, and he can do whatever he wants, come here and see whoever he wants or whatever. It doesn't matter. But don't do it with me, because I just don't find it's cool, and I just can't keep my head straight once I hear something like that. I get annoyed. I really do, because of all the love that I have here from my Dominican friends, all the respect that I have here from the people that I work with, all the respect, and just even how they accept me. I'm not Dominican. I'm Canadian through and through and through, and I'm pretty sure that I can be annoying sometimes, and I'm pretty sure that I'm very much my culture, Canadian culture. But Dominicans are cool with it. Do you know how crazy us gringos and gringas act half the time to them? And they just watch. they watch us just kick off. I'm about to spray that little guy. But they just watch us and they're like, gringa or gringo. And that's it, because this is their country. But you know what? All their life they were raised around tourism, most of them. So they're used to us coming here. They can even pick out who's Canadian, who's American. And they even know, because there's certain things that we bring to the table from our country where we don't even know. Just like some of you Americans, when I'm talking, you guys will like notice my word, my words like about, out and about, right? I think you guys in America say a boat. I don't know how you guys say it, but I say, or a boo, or something like that. It's different. We talk differently. They don't discriminate on us, and we're in their country, so why are we discriminating? Again, you don't have to give tangible things. If you have a t-shirt, you can give it to someone. They can trade that in for something else. If you have something you don't want, give it up. Don't be afraid that they may not want it. They may not have any use for it. So all I'm saying is, again, I'm not trying to censor you. I'm not trying to take from your own experiences. I'm not trying to, discriminate against any foreigners, but I am trying to say that when you are here, be mindful that you are not, being discriminatory yourself or racist. All right. I think that's really important. Okay, guys, I am going to close out because I have, oh wait, let me see these. G-Blaze. In DR, you have to get your Delancey Street on when you are, if you are from NYC back in the day, you know what I'm talking about. Negotiate Delancey Street. So I guess that's a New York street. Boom, boom. Yes, hotter. Okay, Alabama, Mississippi, and all that is hotter. Boom, boom. Yes, but there are a few that keep trying to YouTube it up, and all they do is run and run and run their mouths about Ursa. Yeah. Jackson Jeter, you still going strong. JJ. I love you, JJ. Mwah, my baby. JJ's my baby. JJ, I think, is the first viewer. Now he's my brother, but he's the first viewer that I ever met in the streets here that watches my channel. And boom, boom. But Cerise, let's look at the positive side. You and a few others are spewing positivity and helping your fellow human beings to navigate and create to great experiences. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Boom, boom. Yep, you're going to save a whole lot of people pain and heartache and loss of time if you get right information. Yep, David, there's not much going on in Penetanguishing, but I find motels up there are 85 a night, at least a few years ago anyway. Toronto is 125 and up. Yes, Toronto is expensive. G Blaze, rule of thumb, do the right thing. The movie is actually on right now. It's a good movie. It's a good flick. Really good flick. Wow, no, just playing. Okay, Dream Warrior in the house. You have a good heart, Cerise. Oh, thank you, Dream Warrior. And boom, boom, Cerise, when are you, Cerise, when are you, or have you already done your Sigala? And I know if I spelled it right. What's Segala? Seguya? I don't know what that is. I don't know. Let me see. There's another message here. Hey, Robert from Toronto here. How you been? Hey, Robert. Really good. Toronto, about Penetanguishing and everything. I'm getting all itchy now because of this mosquito and talking about cockroaches earlier, and I'm sweating. As you guys can see, I got a nice shine going on. So I'm going to get going soon. Oh, your residency. Cedula. Yes, Dream Warrior. Cedula. Let me see how you spelled it up there. Cedula for DR. Hi, sweetie. How you doing? Al is back in the house. Thank you, Warrior. Yep, cedula. So for those of you who don't know what a cedula is, it's something very common here, and it's like what natives have been, I call them natives, right? Because they're native to the land. It's like a birth certificate, but it's an identification. So you guys can get that when you get here. Your residency, you can get that. We were talking about that earlier, where there's different services where you can get your residency. But you do want to check the prices. You do want to check the prices, and you want to make sure that you're getting the service that you're paying for. So if you're paying $4,500, then you should be getting it in 45 days. You shouldn't be getting it in 9 months. So if you are paying that much money, then you should be getting it lickety split, especially if you have all your paperwork in order, and especially if you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. I went to Gustavo today, my friend Gustavo, about residencia, and residencia, if you guys are looking for it, he will hold your hand and he will take you all the way to Santo Domingo. And even when you can't be here to do certain things, he will go on your behalf. He will translate for you, and he's a Dominican, and he's not a lawyer, but he deals with lawyers who will give you. But it's just that I hire Dominicans before anybody else here. Anybody else. I don't work, I have people that are Spanish teachers, American, and like they know Spanish very well and they can teach Spanish, and they'll contact me and they'll ask me to set them up, work with them and promote with them, and I have to tell them no, I have enough teachers already, and they're Spanish people, like they're authentic Dominicans. My taxi cab drivers, people that pick you up from the airport, it's not me. And I have a taxi service. I do not pick you up from the airport. Dominicans will pick you up from the airport, and that money goes into their pocket, period. And when I get apartments from Dominicans, for you guys, I do not take commission from them, okay? I charge a $50 finder's fee. A lot of you guys are forgetting that. 2 of you guys forgot that in the last 2 days. One of you guys, I told you I'm gonna take it out of the deposit, and another guy today, he actually made a second transfer and added on my money, my $50. He was really polite. He's like, so shouts out to him. As Mayor would say, shouts out to you. But yeah, the Dominicans, I know there's a vlogger here that does airport pickup drop off, and he started to do it after. I always hire the Dominicans to do it, and I keep it. They usually would charge $30 at the airport. I asked them to charge 25, just so it's fair to you guys, and the money goes to them. Sometimes they'll give me like $5, right? And sometimes no. Sometimes they will, after like 5 people, they'll see me in the street, and then they'll be like, Cerise, come here, and they'll give me like 500 pesos or 1,000 pesos or whatever. The other day when I was in Cabarete, one of the drivers that I work with, he had a couple of bucks for me, and he called me up. I was upstairs in my apartment at the time, like my apartment that I just moved out of, and he called me up and he's like, hey Cerise, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at home. And he's like, come downstairs, I'm outside your apartment. And I went outside my apartment, and he gave me 800 pesos. That's almost 1,000 pesos. It's almost $20. And he said, here, this is for you. So just to let you guys know that when I send my drivers to you, my drivers are getting that money. It's not an American sitting back on their channel going to the airport for you. When you guys get my drivers, you guys are helping to stimulate this economy, and you are paying Dominicans, and they will love you for it. And then after that, okay, I do not mind if you guys take their number, and I encourage it. I always say to you guys, as soon as you guys contact me, I tell you guys how much it is. You guys don't even pay ahead of time, right? You guys can, if you want, send the transfer for it ahead of time. It's up to you, and I'll go to the Western Union for you and get it. I'm so itchy because of these mosquito bites. I'm so afraid to get bitten again. But I'll go and pick up the prepayment for you, and even if you want to send it on PayPal, I'll give it to my Dominican people. And when you guys get picked up here, as soon as you guys contact me and you want to ride, I give you the driver's number, and I give the driver your number. My drivers show up at the airport with your name on a sign, and they are there before your flight, and they already know, and they're taxi drivers, so they are allowed to go into the airport, and they're not taking from the other taxi drivers at all, okay? They've been living here, it's been their job, and that's what they do, and it's not an American or a Canadian or anybody else coming in and taking their job away. Okay, so I just want to put that right out there. When you guys hire my services, you are stimulating the economy, and you are helping a Dominican. And I just want to let you know that right off the bat. Any of my drivers can tell you that, any of them. And I'm very proud to say that. I'm very happy to say that. And even when it comes to MotoMaid, my MotoMaid service, my motor controls get the money. It doesn't cost me anything to promote that. It's free for me to promote MotoMaid. I don't promote it half as much as I should, but that's because tourism is down right now. And not only that, how am I supposed to charge you guys? Let's say it costs 100 pesos for you guys to get a pizza delivered to you from one of my drivers, right? That 100 pesos is going to the driver. It might cost 200 pesos, but that's because the driver is going to the pizza shop, ordering it for you, waiting for it, and then carrying it to you, right? So like, what am I supposed to do? Charge you guys 500 pesos, 10 bucks for delivery? 300 pesos, six bucks for delivery? 200 pesos is the most I can charge. That's 4 bucks for delivery. That's the most I can charge. And that 200 pesos is going in the motor concho's pocket. Let's face it, that's reality. That's just reality, period. And so I'm really passionate about that as well. When you guys when you guys want a lift from the airport to Sosua, and you're not taking from the economy, you're giving to the economy, you're giving to the Dominicans. Oh yeah, and that's another thing, I trade numbers. So for instance, one of my drivers, he'll be at the airport waiting for you, and then after that he has your number and you have his number. You don't need to contact me again for another ride. If you were here and you want to tour around the island, right, you have that driver's number, and you can, and the drivers that I choose, they also speak English, just for your convenience. And you know, those of you who, some of you guys will contact me and be like, Cerise, I speak Spanish, it's okay, I'll take a Spanish driver, I want to practice my Spanish. And I respect that as well, right? But just for convenience, I always have someone that speaks English for you. And you might want to visit Rio San Juan and be in Sosua, and a bunch of guys might want to get into the car. It doesn't cost any more if 5 of you are going or 1 of you is going, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't cost any less either if 1 of you is going. So it's always good to go as a group. But I'm just saying, please be mindful of stimulating the economy even that way. I know a lot of you guys want to hire other people, you know, you feel maybe Canadian at the airport or whatever, but think about it, you know, like that person is actually taking a taxi job away from a person here. So that's another way you can stimulate the economy. Hire Dominicans to do the job that other people are trying to take over. Even with Airbnb, you know, I'm talking, but I'm bringing you guys the prices from the Dominicans, and Dominicans will say to me, when I rent with them, they'll say to me, okay, the first thing that will come out of a Dominican's mouth, the first thing, and if you're Dominican and you're watching this, you're going to be like, yeah. They say, okay, I give you 10%. Just like that. And you don't have to ask for anything. And I say to them, no, it's okay. I get my money from my client. They say, oh, really? And sometimes it's even more than what 10% would be, because I would, let's say $300. So for an apartment, it would be 30 bucks. So I still get a little bit more than I would from the 10%. So why would I take the 10% from them? And if you guys are coming for a month or more, then of course finder's fee is going to be good for you. And you guys only pay that one-time finder's fee. When you come down for another trip, you're good to go again. You pay, it's a one-time finder's fee. You can come 10 times in 1 year. You paid that finder's fee one time, and I'm going to make sure that I got your back. And I tell you that as well. So guys, there's all kinds of background things that is going on here. And I just want to say, you know, there's other ways you can stimulate the economy besides just, you know, handing money out in the street for free. You can buy the fruit, you can buy the vegetables, you can also buy the curtains. Don't go to La Serena. You know, there's lots of people here that make curtains, and if you're making your villa really pretty. One of my clients is coming today, Richard. Shouts out to Richard. Oh, he's here. He must have got here this afternoon. And he's building a 6-bedroom villa, and he's now looking for curtains. And he told me, you know, and I said, okay, well, don't worry. You know, he's like, I need someone to make my curtains. And I said, okay, don't worry, Richard. Once you get here, I'm going to introduce you to a few of the ladies here, and you tell them what you want, and they'll show you the material that they have, and you'll work one-on-one with them. Before, about 4 months ago, I set him up with somebody who is a Russian near Superpola, and she tried to rape him. Like, oh my gosh. She was like, okay, well, this much and that much, and she overpriced because she's trying to make, she can't do what Dominicans can do. She just can't. Like, she needs her standard of living, and here she is. She probably would have given the drapes to someone else to make, you know, and been the middleman maybe, I don't know. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to him. I said, I will introduce you to a Dominican woman when you come here. Don't worry. So, there's so many ways that you guys can help to stimulate the economy by using the services and the products of the people here and getting closer to them and understanding them, understanding there's no welfare system, and sharing as much as you can. Okay, now I do gotta go. Al, hi sweetie, how you doing? I'm doing good. Thank you, warrior. Hey, no problem. Do you have an email? I do. It's my first and last name at gmail.com. And Michael, what's up? Hey, flying to DR from Toronto. I don't. Like flyers as in, I have no interest. And then Russell Rush. Michael, what's his info? His name is Eduardo. I'll give you his info. He is amazing. He goes all the way from Cabarete. He goes everywhere, all over. Russell, and then he'll go. So, and he has the nicest vehicles and stuff. Hit me up on WhatsApp, and I will give you his number there. I've never given his number over on the internet before, but I don't have it off the top of my head either. Blessings, Cerise. Thank you. Boom, boom. Thank you, Cerise, for clarity and creating a good atmosphere for all of us to come. Boom, boom. I love you, Cerise. I love you too, Montel. So, guys, I'm going to let you go now. I have a day, and then I'm going to be back home tomorrow. If I have any news for you or any updates, I'm really getting used to talking to you guys every night like this since I've had my surgery. I'm loving it, and even before, because I was telling you guys about my apartment and everything, and I just love the energy that you guys have and all the information that you guys share with me as well. So I love it. Thank you so much. I feel like I have a whole bunch of bugs crawling all over me because of that whole conversation about bugs, but that's one of my things. Okay, good night, guys. Mwah. Enjoy yourselves. Huge hugs, big blesses, loads of love.